Show.
What is it, Christy?
Did you go out with that girl, Mandy?
What?
That girl, Mandy. Did y'all go out?
No, we didn't make it out just yet. You sound quite attractive. Would you like to go out?
I'm married.
To what?
To a man?
Do you have any children?
We have 4.
Really? And what are they?
2 boys and 2 girls.
How old are they?
We're starting at 6 months, think up to 4 years.
And you've been married how long?
4 years.
Oh, so you've been pregnant the whole time?
Uh-huh.
Do you have any other hobbies?
No, I stay home.
No, I didn't have a chance to go out with Mandy.
What'd Mona say?
I'm sorry, what?
What did Mona say?
Mona and I haven't had a chance to visit about it.
Oh, okay. I was just checking in with you.
All right, then. And I got to go now and set the table. I had to lay out all the Roy Clark plates. I'm going to go outside and wait for the weatherman over at Channel 33 to show up for work.
It's about time.
I want to go watch Crazy Eye Fred.
It's not his name.
Why wouldn't you just address that? Everybody knows it's not like some little small mole or something that nobody would notice on camera. His eye, one of them, doesn't like his head. I think it's this one, the left one. Yeah. It is as far over this way to the left as you can go.
It is.
It don't like him at all. You got to flip it on tonight and watch Crazy Eye. When their overnight numbers go up, and they don't call over here and thank me for promoting Crazy Eye Fred.
I know.
They never do. They never get the humor out of it. I got to get home tonight and watch Crazy Eye Fred. They should make that his name. And if they had a sense of humor, they'd go ahead and key that up tonight, put it across the screen, and now Crazy Eye Fred with the weather. Well, We're on camera, Fred.
Thought I had them both covered.
I can see them both. God, this is a big room. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
So what's the story? How much was accurate? How much did Matt get right?
He's a putz. I don't think he got anything right. All I heard was...
Did you stab him with a fork?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I couldn't find any other utensil close. And I knew a fork wouldn't kill him.
What was the real?
And I'm not going to jail for a fork. I'd go to jail for a knife.
I think if he had to call the police, somebody's got to go to jail. And since he had 4 holes in his shoulder, it would probably been you. So, did he have the story right of why you jabbed him with a fork?
What was the story part of it?
He said you found a bunch of phone numbers and you thought he was cheating on you.
He is.
And how do you know that?
He's a landscaper. Why would he not get home till like late at night? Hello? In the damn yard in the freaking 9 o'clock at night when it's dark outside.
Mm.
You know?
I get it. By the way, don't use slow. Don't use the S word again.
Okay.
All right.
Logically, you wouldn't think at 9 o'clock at night a landscaper would still be outside.
No.
So he came home late and you decided to jab him with the fork?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I was having a bad day.
Well, there you go.
And just because he comes home late, you think he's cheating?
It wasn't the first.
He did call yesterday, and he said that your clam stunk, and that's why you guys aren't having sex.
I guess.
For the first 15 minutes, when the first 15 minutes we were talking yesterday, we thought your first name was Shuey. That sir makes a lot. What are you doing?
Hey, check it out, man.
Yeah.
I had a stalker, man, right after you did.
What did yours do?
Mine used to bang. He banged on my door and he'd leave notes in cigarette boxes. And these crazy notes, but check this out. He came every day at about the same time. That'll show you what a dumbass he was, right?
Yeah, that's a lot easier to catch him.
Yeah, so about 10 o'clock at night, man, I went out and I parked my car out on the street, and he thought I was at the house, so he ran in there. When he ran out, he was in a yellow Mustang.
Yeah.
Man, I pulled that Mac 11 out. I didn't shoot at him. I just shot in the air. He ain't been back since. I had to worry about that no more. A little white kid, about 20 years old. I'm like, dude, man, where I'm from, we don't knock mailboxes down. We shoot cats.
So he'd come up to your house at night, knock on the door, and run off?
Yeah, he'd knock on the door and leave a letter, man.
Oh, that's a different twist. We never left notes.
Exactly.
The Russ Martin Show.
guy with the cat in the roof is a nut.
You don't say. Why?
Where do I start? Okay, they called in yesterday from the critter catchers, whatever the place is called. It gets the critters out of your roof or whatever. Okay, the guy calls in.
Hang on, which one's nut? The guy with the cat in
the guy with the cat in the roof?
Yeah, not the critter catchers.
Critter catchers is very cool.
All right.
He's been nothing but helpful. They were all ready to go this morning. I sent the...
To get the cat and the kittens out of some crawl space.
Crawl space in an apartment.
Got it.
So I call this guy, Malik is his name.
You call the critter guy or the guy with the apartment?
The guy with the cat in the roof.
Okay.
Follow me. The guy with the cat in the roof, so I'm talking about that's a nut.
Dude, if you could make things rhyme, you're following.
Okay, the guy with the cat in the roof.
No.
He sure is a dude.
Good.
Anyway. So he sent him the number yesterday of Jason, who's going to come get the cat out. I sent the guy in the apartment the phone number of the company, Critter Catchers.
Got it.
Nothing. I hear nothing back. So I sent another email this morning. Did you get my email? He writes back, no, you got the number? Yeah. I sent him the number again.
This is the cat, the guy with the cat in the attic.
Correct.
All right.
And I even get the guy, Jason, who works for the company that's going to come get the cat.
The critter catchers.
I get it. Even I'm losing track. I get his cell numbers. Now you don't have to go through the company. We can call directly to the critter catcher. It's in the truck.
You know what? I know the entire story, and I'm starting to get a little loopy here. You got somebody that sent an email that said there's a cat trapped in my attic.
Right.
Can you help me?
Right.
Because the apartment complex just wants to hold it off so the cat can't come and go. So it'll just die along with its kittens. Mm-hmm. Then the guy from the... What's the actual name of the company? Because I think they're doing this for nothing.
Critter Catchers.
There really is that? Okay. He calls, said we do that for a living. We'll go take care of it. So what's the issue with the guy in the apartment with the cat?
Jason from the Critter Catchers finally talks to the guy in the apartment.
Got it.
The guy in the apartment won't tell Jason where he lives.
Okay. How's he want to get the cat out of the room?
I don't know.
Astral projection?
Then I call the guy in the apartment back and I say, what the hell's up? Why won't you give the guy well, I will, but I've already got the kittens. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Is the mother cat still in the roof? Yes.
Well, all you got to do is put the kittens out where the mom will hear them and she'll come down.
That apparently hasn't worked. So during a break, I'm going to call everybody. We're going to have a little sit-down talk. I'm going to go get the damn cat out myself tonight.
We're going to have to come to kitty. Did he say why he wouldn't give the guy his address?
No.
What are you leaving out?
I'm not leaving out anything. That's what I've been told by both Jason at the Critters Catchers and Malik at the apartment.
Now, this is the guy that lives in the apartment, not that works for the apartment complex.
He lives in the apartment. The cats are in his roof. The cat now is in his roof. The kittens are in his apartment.
Got it.
Be damned if I ever help anybody out again for anything.
I have given you warning after warning about doing anything for anybody.
Easy. This was just you call him, he come get the kitty. That's what he does for a living. He's not a an airline pilot who likes to do it on the weekends. This is what the guy does. He'll come by, get your kid out of your roof. Everything's solved.
What are you holding, Trey?
Something else about animals. This is from Johnny, England.
Is this going to confuse me?
It's about homeless animals, but has nothing to do. If you're done over there.
No, I ain't done.
Okay.
A long shot. Unless you got something over there about beetles and some battle. I don't want to hear about it. I'm still stuck with the cat in the attic.
Gotcha.
He never explained why he wouldn't tell. He's the one that emailed us for help.
Yes.
We get him help. And he don't want to tell anybody where he stays.
That's what Jason tells me. Jason by the way, I got the website wrong. It's crittercontrol.com.
All right.
And Jason from crittercontrol.com.
But you called the guy in the apartment.
I called everybody.
And you asked him, why won't you tell the critter guy where you live?
And he said something about, I've already set a trap. Well, what has that got to do? The guy will come and get the cat. Just tell him where you live. He goes, I told him I live in Irving. That's not enough. Really, it's not. damn.
Why didn't you send an email in the first place?
Exactly. If you wanted help, you send this big, long email. We get you help. Not just a drive-by like we'll come check it out. We got a guy who'll come get that cat. And now you won't tell him where you live.
I'm close to calling the guy on the air, but I don't think I could handle it.
No. Oh, that'll be a different story by the time you get to him. Anyway. You want to talk? Here's Jason's number, and here's the guy in the apartment's number, if you care.
Which one would you suggest?
Call Jason. He's the one I haven't talked to most recently. And he's the more lucid of the two. This is his cell.
Hi, this is Jason Livingston with Critter Control. I'm unable to reach my phone right now. If you leave me a brief message and a number where you can be reached, I will contact you as soon as I possibly can. If you have an emergency or any other questions, our office number is 817-222-1800-CRITTER. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
How come you don't come to get my cat? Jesus Christ. I'm sure he's listening. He'll probably call.
Most likely he will. Cat emergency somewhere.
All right. Trey, what is it you got? Because if you're going to kill my cat bit, you're next. Hello?
I'm thinking. Yeah, it's worth it.
All right.
It's from Johnny. It says, Paws in the City, a group that's trying to build a new no-kill animal shelter in Dallas.
Got it.
It's having a big fundraiser on June 14th.
All right.
It's a Dancing with the Stars type event.
Okay.
So she wanted to know if you, Russell, would be interested in doing it. I already signed JD and Joy up.
Oh, good.
Excuse me?
And then wanted to know.
I wasn't paying attention for half a second. What?
I told you to be more part of the show.
I'm dying.
What?
My name comes up, I perk up.
Well, this one's a lot easier to follow than your story. Shut up. No, I'm not interested.
Neither am I.
Well, you're already signed up.
I'm not signed. No one asked me. You have to ask me before you sign me up.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
Clearly, you're committed.
No. Well, what?
How come you don't want to bust a move for some homeless animals?
How come you don't want to?
Because I give them money all the time. Plus, I saved that cat from yesterday.
You didn't save Jack. The cat's still on the roof.
Well, the kittens are down.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It's got to be disturbing to be a child and know that your mom's crawling around in the attic.
I won't come down and get you.
When is it?
June 14th.
What is that, Saturday?
Yeah.
Not this Saturday, but next.
Next Saturday. Larry North is involved, Tony Dorsett, Preston Pearson, and Scott Murray, Ron Kirk.
Scott Murray. That's all he does now. Is that the only way he can stay in the limelight is to do these different events? Because since he left as sports director for Channel 5, all he does is to MC things.
Here and MC stuff, yeah.
Somebody had an event. He wasn't the MC. Had no part of this. I don't even remember what the event was. Goes up on stage. They don't know what he's doing. He takes a mic. He starts emceeing the event. It's like he's got some type of addiction.
I remember that. He just invited himself up on stage. I'm Scott Murray. Bobby, you've heard of me, yes? I just happened to have makeup on today. I told you I saw him in Tom Thumb one night about 8 o'clock.
Was this when he was still working for Channel 5?
No, he was already off Channel 5. But
so there was no reason to have
probably
makeup.
Going to an event, but he had there was no reason to have TV makeup on. But he had serious makeup on.
I saw him at Best Buy, not either this past Christmas or the Christmas before, walking around.
Makeup?
Oh, yeah. Tons. But then he also had he was even wearing the shirt, a shirt with the NBC5 logo on it. I'm like, dude, you're still that loyal?
I've still got them. They're clean.
I've had him up close or in person once. I think that makeup is permanent.
No,
it might be fiberglass.
It's not.
I thought I saw some rebar.
Time for a touch-up.
Yeah, at what point do you just kind of go, okay, I'm kind of done with the appearance thing?
I wonder why he left Channel 5. Because he'd been there for 20 plus years. He obviously had the name recognition.
They brought in Newey to do all the sports. They moved him to sports director.
They brought in Newey?
Newey Scruggs.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
What happened to Dewey Groom?
His ballroom shut down in 62.
Not the same guy?
No, not the same guy at all.
Okay.
This is a very large black fella.
Well, that ain't Dewey Groom.
No, it's not even close. So, Newey Scruggs came in, and then they moved Scott up. I don't know what happened. Maybe, a lot of changes at Channel 5 happened about that same time, including our buddy Scott Chesner.
So it's a week and a half away?
Yeah. Do you want to know who the celebrity dancers are?
I thought you already told me.
No.
Well, who are the names you just rattled off?
Those are going to be the judges.
Oh, but that Larry Norton. What does he know? Short of the obvious joke, what does he know about hooping?
I'm sure they're going to give him some tips on what to look for.
Oh.
So that means Scott Murray's going to be a judge, Trey?
MC.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, silly.
Okay, go ahead.
Ron Kirk, Christine Kahanick,
Right.
Joe Avizano.
Who was that?
Old special teams coach for the Cowboys and coached the Dallas Desperados for a while.
Okay. I think I know who that is. He's one of the celebrity dancers?
Yeah. Nita Wiggins.
Who was that?
Channel 4 sports reporter.
Sounds crazy.
Wiggins.
Go ahead.
Megan Norris, I guess niece of Chuck Norris.
Okay.
Brian Cuban. I guess that's his brother, executive director of the Mark Cuban Foundation. And
This is everyone's family. Like the most famous people in Dallas get their family members.
Yeah. Gallagher's brother in that?
Bart Perot.
And what's this event called?
It is called our Top Hats and Tails Gala.
Yeah, you'd probably end up in court if you called it Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Not because of ABC, just because. Let me see the release. So far, the biggest name on here is JD. Mm-hmm. Unless you want to send your brother that smokes pot.
I would rather not. I don't know that he smokes pot.
It would go in with a theme.
No, yeah. It would, yeah.
Let's see. Intercontinental Hotel in Addison, 6:30 p.m. cocktail silent auction. 7:30 sit-down dinner, dancing live auction, dance competition, black tie optional. Judges will give scores. They're going to do it just like the TV show.
Okay.
Dogs and cats will be on hand in hopes of finding a new home. As a dancer, you need to learn a dance routine, any kind of dance you like, tango, waltz, swing, salsa, etc. You perform with an Arthur Murray instructor at the event. So he doesn't even need Joey. Mm-mm. Or I said, Joy could still have another. Yeah, we'll get her a trainer.
No, we won't be getting her a trainer. We won't be getting no.
You only got a week and a half.
She will not be getting a trainer. I've seen what happens on the television.
Hold on a second. My cat catcher's on the phone. Hi, Jason.
Hey, boss man, what's up?
What's the story with the guy with the cat in the attic?
I don't know, but if you can get him on the air, you need to get him on the air.
What did he tell you when you called him?
He started rattling off about how the apartments. I guess they heard him on heard about this on the radio yesterday.
We never said the name of the apartment complex.
I know, but I guess it kind of worried him because he said he's been waiting for 30 days and they never did anything. Well, he cut a hole in his roof so he could get to the cats.
Okay.
He got all the kittens out. He said a couple of them had already expired.
That's too bad.
He has them running around the bedroom in his apartment.
All right.
And the apartments came and put a cage up there with some bait in it, and all you have to do now is pretty much sit and wait for the mom to get in there. It's a little tough to chase around in an attic space.
But he still hasn't said why he wouldn't tell you where he lived.
Nah. I was like, do you want me to come over there and take care of it? Well, no, because the apartments have come and they're taking care of it now. So he was actually asking me what kind of bait they needed to put in the cage.
What do you stick in the cage?
Cat food.
I'm an idiot.
Not necessarily. You can put in scent attractants too, so that'll get them in there faster.
All right, but I still don't understand why they wouldn't let you come out. You do this professionally. Now you probably got maintenance guys trying to catch a cat in the attic through a hole.
Yeah.
I wish I could make this rhyme. And they won't tell you where the apartment complex is.
No, he just kind of danced around it when I asked him, you know, do you want us to come on out and take care of it? And I think the maintenance people are kind of upset with him for cutting a hole in his roof, but that, you know, might be problematic.
Wow. All right. Well, you still offered, and I appreciate the time.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.
What's the name of his company again?
CreditorControl.com.
My worry is, what are they going to do with the cat?
Oh, shut up. I asked the question. What do you put in the cage?
Cat food boss.
Well, I don't do this for a living, so don't get cocky with me. What were you going to say, Trey?
What are these idiots going to do with the kittens and cat once they catch them?
I don't know. I don't know if you can have pets there. I don't know if this guy's smart enough to call one of the... I don't know. All I know is my job here is done.
You tried. You did a good job. We've done everything you could do. We put the critter control guy up with the guy.
How are we doing, Chloe?
Bring him too.
You finished reading about what you got to learn. Perform with that what?
I'm not learning crap. I'm not doing this.
Well, you won't get a very good score.
Smart ass.
What says here in the email from Johnny, they're short two dancers.
We don't dance. I don't dance. I don't even.
None of these people dance. That's the magic of the event is you watch people who've never danced before. Look what Cuban was able to accomplish in 6 weeks.
What is 6 weeks? I got 6 days or whatever it is, 10 days. Well, I'm not doing it. They know that. I'm talking like I've got time. I'm not doing it. I don't dance. I do good to walk.
None of these people dance.
Better rhythm than me.
Why don't you learn, was that thing where you stick your thumbs in your pants pocket?
Line dancing.
Why won't you do that?
I don't want to dance. It's gay.
Okay. Why is it gay?
I don't mean gay like gay. I just mean it's stupid. Nobody does it in country bars anymore.
Why not?
See it on because it was retarded when it was a thing. The only time they'd let people line dance is when the bar would open up at 6 o'clock on a Friday and none of the cool people were there yet. The line dancing lessons were at 6 to about 7 o'clock, and after that they shooshed them away.
I thought that was some kind of fad.
Not in real country bars, no. That was on TV. You saw it on TV a lot. Country music television, places like that. That's just really stupid dancing.
It started in an Urban Cowboy?
Yes, I had an Urban Cowboy, and then it came along with Achy Breaky. That had a dance to it. And then country music songs started being associated with little dances.
What about having your blue jeans pressed to where they're actually sharp enough to cut meat?
That is still very in vogue, yes. That's just what cowboys do, man. You don't have to wash them as often. They stay pressed, they stay clean. Well, they don't stay clean, but they stay pressed.
Have you seen those, Trey?
Oh, yeah.
When we were doing a TV show, JD, after one of our shoots, he was going to go out to Billy Bob's, whatever, had his jeans already in the back, waiting on him. But I mean, waiting on him. I mean, they were standing up. All he had to do was jump in like a fireman.
I've known plenty of guys who did that.
It's really hard to get them on the first time, too, because they're so starched.
It looks
together.
retarded.
Put your foot through them and pull them up. They're pressed together. It doesn't look
What's the
retarded.
reason? Yes, it does. Especially when your pants can dance, you ain't got to be in them.
It doesn't look retarded. It's just a style. It looks pressed. It looks, you have a shirt that's pressed.
They're blue jeans. Get some, if you're going to have something pressed, get you some slacks. Don't press blue jeans and try and cop a tude. It's still,
now, real cowboys don't do that, obviously. It's kind of urban cowboys also. You don't see that on the oil field. In the oil field, needless to say. Nice press there, Bubba.
Let's see. They will teach you a routine in 7 40-minute lessons. So you got a few days to spare.
Absolutely not.
You can combine your lessons so that you can do 2 lessons back to back on the same day. If you like, the instructors will be flexible and work around your busy schedule. You'll need to be available around 4 p.m. Saturday, June 14th. We'll meet at the hotel.
You do it.
I don't want to do it.
Well, I don't either.
You've already signed up.
I didn't sign up. Trey signed me up.
Well, they needed 2 dancers. Now they stopped looking. Got you and Joy.
No. cannot do this. I cannot dance.
I'm sure your instructor will be hot.
I have no interest. Wait a minute. I have no interest.
Provide 2 complimentary tickets to the event, spouse, friend, whatever. They can sit down and cheer you on. There you go. There's your information.
Thanks. I'll call her. Tell her I can't do it.
You're going to have to.
I don't have to go and
It's
dance.
a charity event. Do something for a change.
I'm doing things.
I'm running a shop. The profits are, if I ever get to that point, are going to go to charity. Why don't you do something?
I do
You
lots
benefit from the Police Fire Foundation all the time. Why don't you give back to the community, you selfless dick?
Not either.
You pussy.
I smoke something. I'm hosting an arthritis bone bash in the fall.
What kind of cruel event is that?
It's just
You
called
going to smack on people's knuckles?
No, it's called the bone bash. It's a party.
It's like whack-a-mole gone bad.
No, it was, what?
It's an
Buzz Burkhead, the doctor that did my shoulder, he hosts this every year. I actually am going to host it this year for them. And it's the Arthritis Foundation. It's called the bone.
Wasn't the sound effect I was looking for?
3rd annual.
That's the one I was looking for.
No, we're not bashing bones. The bash being a party.
It sounds like you're going to get old people in there and bust a hip.
No, not.
Actually, that sounds like fun. How much are tickets, and can you bring your own bat?
$250 a person. No. And no, you don't get to smack people. God.
They should. They'd sell more tickets.
Yeah.
No, these are doctors.
They're going to need the hips replaced anyway. You're just speeding the process up.
Doctors.
Is this how they get business?
No! These are doctors that help people.
That's genius as far as revenue generating.
Absolutely.
It's a bone bash.
People pay to break your elbow.
It's a party.
Shoulder, hip, knee.
Yeah, busting out windshields on cars, that's old school. Now we're busting old people. We need a break. Yeah, all right. Should have done that 5 minutes ago.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
Is that Gail? Hi, Gail.
Howdy.
What was up with the weird emails coming from you last night?
Well, actually, it was early this morning, and I'm sorry. I was trying to do something in a hurry and thinking about I was trying to do 2 things at once, actually, and transfer a bunch of addresses to myself at another email, so it was just something stupid. I sent an apology.
I didn't understand that one either.
Just, said disregard the stupid email, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to have troubled your email box.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Like a murder mystery.
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
Well, traffic's brought to you by Boardwalk Auto Group and Don Davis Auto in Dallas on westbound I-30 at Loop 12, Walton Walker. The HOV lane is closed, and they don't know when it's going to be open this afternoon. No ETA. On northbound 35 before Walnut Hill, you got the 2 right lanes blocked, and that's backed up to Loop 12. On 183 westbound in Hearst before Norwood, you've got a vehicle off to the shoulder. It's backed up to 121. It's actually kind of more in the ditch, and it's facing the wrong way, and the door's open, and that's why everybody's slowing down to look at it. In Bedford, westbound 183 at Murphy, there's a crash heavy from 157 Industrial, and it looks like there's also one on westbound 183 at Murphy, so a mess in the mid-cities this afternoon. And I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Gail, 77 for the low tonight, mid-90s again all through the weekend. We have 93 now at Live 105.3.
I don't care why this guy thinks I would let him on the air to call and bag on the shop. Why am I going to let somebody on the air to bag on my own shop?
You're kidding.
No, let me find the email from Daryl.
Well, you told the punchline already. What else could be funnier?
We're installing a customer's used lift kit on his Ford pickup. Obviously, the guy brought his own lift kit in.
Okay.
Half the kit is missing.
Okay.
I called him to let him know he was missing a bunch of stuff. He said to find whatever it was he's missing, or he's going to call me and rag on the shop on the air. I laughed out loud and said, "You go ahead." Just give me a heads up if he calls.
Customer service is your thing.
I already sent Daryl back an email. I went tell him to come get his effing truck.
That's the problem with the show. With the show being associated with this, you're going to get some idiots. You're going to get guys with cats in their ceiling. You're just going to get nuts. You're going to get a couple that think it's...
What's the reasoning thinking you could call up about a shop that I own and bag on it on the air because you can't bring in the entire lift kit?
I think you probably want to get Daryl in trouble. I'll tell Russ if you don't do it. Just that whole mentality of ratting, kind of sort of like wanting to be in a group, wanting to be in the clubhouse. I'm going to rat somebody out like we do on each other. The difference is we like each other. We don't like this guy.
I don't know this guy.
I know.
I told Daryl sent back an email. Well, we've already got part of the truck disassembled. I said, drag it out in front of the shop. Tell him to come get his truck.
Pieces.
I'm not going to.
It's just a matter of time before you do that.
That's the best part of owning something is you don't have to answer to anybody. You don't like the way somebody acts. You drag the bitch out front on its axles and go, here you go.
Take all the pieces, even the ones that came off while I was dragging it.
In fact, you can take some of the other parts from cars of vehicles we've dragged. Keep it for yourself, for your time.
Parting gift.
And then I've got 2 more emails from him. Can I buy this front end alignment machine or not? No.
Why?
It's $35,000.
We won't make that back.
God. We've already talked about how much you'll make off of it.
It's $35,000.
Well, I think we came up. You'll make $220 off of it in 1 year.
How do you figure that? You can't guarantee who's going to come in for front alignments. Why are you screaming, Chloe?
God, what the $35,000?
Yeah.
What does this thing do? Besides align the cars.
Just the lift? Obviously, you got to, I don't know why, you got to have some kind of special lift just to get the car off the ground so you can align all 4 tires. That's $11,000.
Well, it's probably going to be exactly lined up, unlike a regular lift where you can go, a degree or 2 off. You can't do that with an alignment lift.
The other lifts are only $2,000. The normal ones where you just get the car up.
The other ones are probably adjustable down to 0. They have to be within specs.
Discount Tire already said they have enough business.
That doesn't mean people are going to come to me.
They said they have like 15 a day. Daryl said that's probably more than you can handle.
That doesn't mean they're going to come over to us for front end alignment.
Where else are they going to take it?
But obviously they have other people they've been dealing with. I'm not paying $35,000.
They'd much rather take it somewhere.
Drive sideways.
If it was such an awesome deal, why doesn't Discount Tire, the big humongous company, already have
well, why wouldn't they get all of those? Daryl even said the Walmart, in the same parking lot with us, the Sam's and the Walmart, they sell tires. They don't do front end alignments. If you make that much cash, why wouldn't you get one? There's something underlying in this, and I'm not going to get caught up in it.
I'm with you then. If even Walmart doesn't want to have the machine, there's a reason.
I can easily see why.
Why?
Because for every car you work on the tires, then you do a front end alignment, you need double the space. Whereas they can just send. You can take what you want and say no to the rest. You're going to make a pot of money.
It's an auto shop. It ain't Bluebell ice cream.
It pretty much is. They're absolutely retarded on this one.
Why?
You spend $35 to make $220 in one.
I don't know that I'm going to make that.
Okay, all right, fine. You make $150. So your net, you spent $35 in a year, you're going to make $120. That's in 1 year. You paid off your investment 5 times, and then free and clear the rest of the time. You're going to make every year after that nothing but profit.
Why is it the only time you don't lock up is when it's spending my money?
Because I'm good at it.
And what if I don't get enough people in there? What if you only get a couple of alignments a month? That's going to take me 30 years.
Discount Tire
unless I charge $20,000 per alignment.
They already said they would come down. They would send them your way.
Well, they've already sent us business for different things. They didn't have to. So I know there'll be some type of reciprocity, but I don't know for sure that I'm going to have that. I'm not paying $35,000. I'm not paying $11,000 for a lift just to get the car off the ground.
If you were struggling and like some young guy startup business, fine, I understand. You got the money. This will make you a lot of cash. And if everything's going back to the Police and Fire Foundation, then this is a good investment.
He's pissed at you.
I'm not buying it.
Well, you're being a retard.
Okay. Why is that a shock? I parade my idiocy every day. It's not like something I keep under wraps.
No, you share.
Yeah.
You can invest $35,000 $200,000.
That's not getting a loan. That's writing somebody a check for $35,000.
I get it. You've got it.
Not anymore.
You wouldn't even miss it.
I've already put an assload of cash into that shop.
I know your finances. Shut up. That's not true at all.
You don't know what I put in that shop.
I pretty much.
You've been there every day that I had to buy something. Every day Daryl needs something extra. Now wants to line front ends. Get a tape measure. And a hammer.
And a hammer. Great.
Or when they come in, just loosen up the steering wheel, straighten that up, and tell them to get it.
Same process you had with oil. Just top it off. Yeah, fresh oil.
Well, if the steering wheel looks straight, tell them it's aligned. That's the only way people know their cars are out of alignment. The steering wheel's crooked. Straighten that bitch up.
And then the cars also kind of tend to pull left or right. They pull out of your shop and they go into a pole.
Steering wheel straight. And I don't get why just the lift is 5-6 times more than just a normal lift. I don't even talk about this.
It's especially
and all the issues with the shop. I don't know if you've noticed or not. My left eye started some kind of twitch about 3 weeks ago. I don't know what that's from. I bet it's from the shop.
Every once in a while, I just start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that.
What is that?
I think it's just when you get too much, you get overwhelmed.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the club.
How long? Is it permanent?
Yeah, it goes away. It comes.
It ain't going to go away until I hit chapter 13.
Oh, God. You're making money on the shop. You know you are.
Not yet.
Well, you're still recouping your investment, but you will shortly.
I'm not paying $35,000 so somebody's tires last longer.
It's money. It is.
That's gonna hurt Discount Tire down the road.
No, it's not. It helps them.
You give a rat's ass about them on the street corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're sending me business.
All right.
They're gonna send you a lot of business, and it helps them because then they can say, "Hey, we can just send it right down the road. We'll do your alignment. It'll only take them 30 minutes longer."
Then you buy it.
It ain't my shop.
It ain't mine either.
It is your shop. It's got your name on it.
It's the government's now.
No. Giving it up, are you?
I let it go back.
Yeah, and let shop go back.
What are those, Alfie?
Those are all guys telling you why you should or why you shouldn't buy an alignment machine.
Yes, Bruce.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't want to hear from you. Yes, Mark?
Russ, man, I'm telling you, the best way you're going to make your money is alignment. That's where 95% of the money goes in the automotive field is alignments and brakes.
Why would it be that big of a percentage?
People mess up their wheels. They got to drive straight. You know, they don't want to spend $400 or $500 to get new tires. Just have to come back in another year to spend $400 or $500 more to get new tires.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. As far as that's what gets used the most is the brakes and the tires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the alignment, because if the tires go bad, you know, they're just going to be spending money every year to get new tires.
What does it cost to align a car?
$60, $70.
Okay. So you make $100.
Is that about right, Mark?
It just depends. I mean, worst case, I've seen them go up to $300-$400 for an alignment.
Why would it be that much?
You know, you have to change out stretch or something like that, spring, suspension, you know.
That's more than
like
alignment.
They got to change out parts.
Okay, well, that's other repairs then.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? What are you thinking?
Got it up on the rack.
Yeah. What about it? Yeah, you need struts. I had struts when I came in here. We ain't got them now.
Yeah.
Oh, there they're on the ground. You want them back on?
That'll be $50. Put them back on.
Yeah. We have some that we know that will fit exactly. Factory specs. You want them?
Those are mine.
They can be.
They've got my ID number on them. I etched them.
Then they must have fell out. Which means you got other issues.
I hate this shop.
Any more of those before I move on from this? Nobody really gives it a right dick about me in this shop.
Line form may have a good idea.
Yes, Ben.
Yeah, I used to work at a shop, and what we did was we leased our machine. We didn't pay, $35,000 up front, and we actually leased a used machine, and it was pretty inexpensive. And if it doesn't work out, you can just tell them to take the machine out of there.
How long can you lease it for? Like a car, 3 or 4 years?
You can go for a year, sometimes 2 or 3, depending on what kind of rate you're looking for. It just depends on if you want a brand new lift or if you want to use one and how much features you want. The $35,000 lift is outrageous. It'll almost do the lift automatically for you. You can get a cheaper one that maybe costs about half that and do just about everything you need to do.
All right, thanks. Well, that's what Daryl said. You drive it up onto the lift, and because it's all computerized, it's got little mirrors that pop up on each tire. Does it all, I don't know if it's lasers. I don't know what it is.
But it doesn't.
He sets it all to factory spec. You go in, either it's all entered into the computer. Daryl's got some website that you subscribe to. You pull up any car, and it gives you all the factory specs.
Okay.
Or he's going on Wikipedia. I don't know what he's doing.
There's a website.
All right, I'm done with this. I ain't buying it. You shut up.
That's just ridiculous.
Then you buy it. Get a loan and buy one.
That's not my shop.
Take the cash.
It's nothing. Financially, it's nothing to you.
$35,000.
As far as your overall net worth, no, it's nothing.
Get off me.
I love when he wins. Because all you can say is get off.
The only way he's going to win is if I buy the machine, and I'm not going to buy it.
But you know he's right.
He's not right.
He is right.
You got no clue how many... I don't want to talk about this because it's absurd.
I don't see how... If you can make...
And you buy it.
I don't want to buy it. I don't have a shop. I'm going to put it in my house. Swing by and get your front wheels aligned.
You stay out of alignment a lot anyway. Things that you hit.
I don't hit above. I hit one guy one time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
What about the fire hydrant?
You need to shut up.
I don't know about that.
Yes, you do. We talked about it.
You got a fire hydrant?
Not a full-size one.
How big was this one?
That's why I hit it. It was only about... I told this story.
No, I don't think you did.
It's only about... It's about half the size of a regular fire hydrant, okay? I'm at Four Wheel Parts, and I blame them.
Why?
Because where they parked my truck, which was near the hydrant.
Oh, I remember this. You decide, instead of backing out and going through the parking lot, because you got a four-wheel drive, you're just going to hop the curb.
No, I didn't see the curb. They parked the car out by the end to be nice, to give me almost close to the exit, but there was a curb. I didn't see it because it was down right in front of the truck. So I
How
thought
do you miss the curb? The curb just isn't in front of your truck. It runs the entire length of the parking lot. It doesn't gap right there where your truck sits.
It was a half curb, and right in the middle of it was this fire hydrant. So I thought it was a clear shot to the hole in the street. And then I thought, okay, I go up on it, and I think, okay, I'm just up on the curb, so I'll back up. And when I backed up, that's when I pulled the front end out of the truck.
That's why they parked your truck there.
No, yes. Yes, you're right, Dan.
Oh, look, JD's
Did you actually knock the fire hydrant over?
No, we just tore the front end of the truck out. Oh, it's so... this truck, you know, it's all jacked up. The right wheel's facing straight. The left wheel's facing the other way. Straight out.
Crazy eye Fred tires.
Crazy eye Fred tires. And the hydraulic fluid's pouring out of it like it's bleeding. It was so pathetic.
You're an idiot.
And I'm not. It wasn't their fault. They made me park. They parked that truck there.
They parked it up against a curb.
With a fire hydrant. A baby one. That's why I have a backup camera. I never backed over anything.
Shut up and buy a front alignment. She can get off me. All right. Are we done with this? What was the audio from, is it John Graziano?
Graziano's brother, Frank. Yeah, I've got that cut 34.
How we doing, Clem?
He went on a radio show on Friday and just went off on the Hogans. Rightfully so. But that's 34 on my disc.
All right. I saw that online. I didn't listen to it ahead of time.
His brother, Frank. Oh, he's so right in everything he says here.
All right.
Poor little...
Yeah, Dan Nicole. Hey, let me tell you about this kid, Nicole, right? He's crying.
Whose show is this?
I never could find out exactly.
It's the Todd Schnitt.
Todd Schnitt.
I hate living in this shit.
I know.
Yeah, Dan Nicole. Hey, let me tell you about this kid, Nicole, right? He's crying. He's lucky he's in protective custody. They're doing him a favor, and he still wants it. Let me tell you how twisted this system is. My brother's a United States Marine that risks his life for this country, and the same system wants to bail out, bend the rules, twist everything for this little punk, hide behind the camera, rich boy. There's no rule.
Well, they're not changing the rules. Nick Hogan and his dad wanted him to be under house arrest, and the judge, I think it was today, told him to get screwed.
No, but the family wanted them to change the rules and say, he's having a really hard time adjusting. That's why they call it prison.
Yeah, if everybody adjusted really well, everybody would want to go to prison.
And, the judge actually said, no, you don't get house arrest. You don't get to go home and hang out of your house. Give me house arrest. Give me
Well, there's no justification for giving Nick Hogan house arrest and nobody else.
Because he has to be in solitary, and that's unfair because he's underage. That's what they're saying. And they're saying now when his birthday comes around, then put him back in Gen Pop. I think you got to be happy at this particular moment he's in solitary.
Now, how long is he locked up?
8 months total.
When's his birthday?
It's next month.
Oh.
He'll be 18.
Well, good.
Well, especially now with all, they're asking they've gone back to court to ask him to not let the phone records out anymore. Well, that's a law. That's, public record. You can do that. TMZ just went and said, hey, can we have the phone records from this jail? And they went, well, legally, yeah, sure you can. And they're going, well, that's against the rules. No, it's not. Quit being a pussy. They're turning the Hogan family into the most hated people in this country.
The Hogan people are doing that to themselves.
That's what I mean.
It's the information that's leaking out.
Brian, he's lucky he's in protective custody. They're doing him a favor, and he's still wanted. Let me tell you how twisted this system is. My brother's a United States Marine that risked his life for this country, and the same system wants to bail out, bend the rules, twist everything for this little punk, hide behind the camera, rich boy. There's no rules anymore. There's nothing. They don't even respect nothing. This kid risked his life. My brother risked his life for this country. And what do? They spit in his face on Memorial Day, making phone calls, while the rest of us are paying our respects to these young men that risked their life for these wars and for us to be able to even be on this phone right now. What are they doing? They're talking to each other, crying, planning a reality show. You think you're going to make a reality show out of my brother suffering? Every day John suffers, you suffer, your family suffers. Every single day
That's the problem is family's not really suffering. They don't get it. They think they've been, Nick Hogan's been unjustly accused. He's been locked up. He's only 17. What does he really know? Well, then lock his daddy up. He's the one that kept buying him cars after a drag race and wreck after wreck.
That was one of the stories that came out the other day was he was a minor and everybody else in this scenario were adults. And so he's the victim. Oh, you are not serious. You're trying to spin that to make him the victim.
I don't know if it was the Hogan family or some of their fans, but again, they tried to go back and throw a spin on it. What's the kid's name, John?
Yes.
He decided to get in the car. He wasn't wearing the seatbelt. He knew that Nick Hogan was a nut when he was driving. Okay, that's a fair argument.
It is.
But Nick Hogan was still in control of the car. Whether John was egging him on to race somebody or not.
It's a tragedy what the thing that's happened. What's even making it worse is that Nick and his family are trying to play again.
They don't want to,
and being completely innocent.
They don't want to take responsibility.
Let him sit at home. You're out of your mind.
You're going to be down forever, for eternity, because you can't kill me and you can't kill the rest of my family. So we live forever. Everything I touch, John touch. Everything I do, John does. That's the lifestyle. That's it.
This is starting to sound like a threat.
The Marine Corps is behind me. The whole world's behind me. It's over. Game is over. This kid went too far, hiding behind the camera and the media. I don't give a shit about the media. I don't care about none of that. I respect people like you, Michael Savage. I respect people that are real.
Michael Savage.
The guys, I respect people like Michael Savage in this guy's name.
I got it.
That's why I edited it out.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
But listen, this kid, he finished himself, man. His family, they're disgusting. You see what they do? I got pictures right now, on the internet. The greatest tool on earth. It's even better than the gun. I type in anything.
Still sounds like a threat.
I got pictures of the father, Terrence Hogan, rubbing oil on his daughter's ass. I got pictures of the mother right now in Las Vegas with a 19-year-old boyfriend. I got pictures of this kid, Nicky, in jail crying while my brother's in a veteran hospital right now, laying down, recovering from critical injuries from a careless little brat that calls himself my brother's best friend. That wasn't my brother's best friend. He looked up to my brother like an older brother type. But then when he went to the Marines, time passed. My brother was becoming...
Let me jump to the end of this.
Came back. Nah, this kid changed. He didn't care no more. As soon as I met the kid, I knew right away. I'm in the hospital room. I got on a plane. August 26th, our family was destroyed forever.
Now, here's the problem is, since Nick Hogan's already been sentenced, and I'm almost done with this, is with the release of those phone calls, you can't really go back and readjust his sentence, even though you should. But it's going to affect the civil trial that, is going to follow this.
Well, I don't know if the phone calls really should have been leaked. I mean, they're there for evidence, not for TMZ.
Public record. You can request anything, arrest records, as long as it's considered a public document, you can get your hands on it. Dash cams, whatever. So why not release these?
Well, was it that TMZ requested them or someone gave them to TMZ without being prompted?
I think TMZ made a request.
Okay. That was the story. It's just when it's a high-profile thing, you wonder if maybe at some point there's some kind of filter where you don't just put out just terribly destructive phone calls. What good did that do, other than make the family feel like crap?
It's going to go back, and it's going to help Graziano?
Yes.
It's going to help that family as far as the civil lawsuit goes, because you got the Hogans that don't want to claim responsibility for anything. You got Hulk that said, I don't know what this John kid was doing, but God slapped him around. I forget what the exact quote was, but it was all put back on John like the steering wheel is on the other side of the car.
You wonder if it's so high profile, maybe some of that ought to be reviewed versus just put out on the public.
Some of what?
Some of the phone calls.
The case has already been concluded. The criminal case, the civil case, it's got nothing to do with this.
Well,
luckily it will. What?
I don't think being that he's going to serve like 5 years probation, isn't that still an open criminal case? Because if he violates probation, it lands right back in jail.
No, it's not an open criminal case unless he screws up. And these audio tapes aren't going to go back and play anything or play towards that. All it's going to do is affect the civil case. You're going to be obtuse all day?
Yeah, it's usually what you want.
I'll buy the machine. You call the man. Go call Daryl during the break and tell him to get the thing.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
I hate to be obvious, but what the hell was that? Was that run before?
No. It's something that was attached to the log.
You see it. Gavin?
Yes?
Why is that run?
We're doing a cross promote this week.
Do KRLD, does KRLD run promos for my show?
If we have a clean segment, we'd love to. Yes.
So right now you don't even know if there'll be cross promotion. You're just going ahead and sticking them in my show. That's sold out, where I got no room.
I'm sticking them in all over the radio station.
I don't want them here. Plus, you get KRLD plugs from me nonstop.
I said that. Absolutely.
You said that to who?
I said that when we were talking about the cross promotion.
So why are these promos running my show?
I didn't know that one was about to run.
When was it supposed to run?
Actually, I didn't have any scheduled in your show because you always talk about KRLD.
Please play Breaker 37 KRLD once per hour. Thanks, Lee. That's what it's attached to the log.
And that was meant for the other shows.
Don't play that no more. Okay. And why is it with all the other CBS stations, we play their promos?
Well, we talk about them. Get the hosts on. We do everything.
I'm not talking about that. We play their promos. KBIL, Christmas, KRLD, doesn't matter. They call it cross promotion. Forgetting the fact, for it to be true cross promotion, you got to run something on those other dumps for either this station or my show.
They don't want to drive people over here. Because they never know, again, like you said, if it's going to be a blue segment or a questionable segment, you don't want to take the happy little housewives from KVIL and shoot them over here to the devil.
Why would they think that somebody from the devil would want to go hang out with them on the reverse?
Well, sometimes people do.
Finish this bumper. Sometimes people what?
Want to get better with their lives. Nobody really ever wants to go to the dark side.
Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
I think they're afraid of this station.
Then it's not cross. It's not all over the top of my nose.
It's definitely not cross promotion by definition. It's not.
They did that nonstop this last year or the year before with KVIL around Christmas. They're running the KVIL Christmas promos on this station. On this show, they don't run nothing on KVIL for me.
No. I thought they ended up running something on KVIL for you. No?
They produce those. I don't think they actually. You're talking about
when you're
sick of Christmas music and you want to go hang out with Satan.
Yes, was that it?
Yeah. Are those still in the computer?
No.
All right. Well, of course, no reason to keep those. Anything else before we get to news?
Yeah, I pulled out, this is kind of funny. Dan's got a copy of it too. Days before the 1997 wedding of comedian Bill Murray and his wife, Jennifer Butler Murray.
I heard Likas talking about this last night.
Oh, he did? Okay, that's
But go ahead.
He likes it. No, that's just a copy of their prenuptial. Jennifer is aware that Bill's a person of very substantial means and income. Basically, it's saying what's hers is hers, what his is his. There's the ones that had out on Smoking Gun.
Parties to this agreement intend to be married to each other. They believe that this agreement will enhance and encourage a harmonious marital relationship between them and will enable them to avoid any conflict or controversy in the future arising out of any dissolution of the marriage.
She's basically saying he smokes dope all the time. He's an alcoholic. He's beat her. And now she does get $7 million within 60 days of the resolution of the marriage.
All right. What did she have going in? How long were they married? Because I missed that.
97 would have been 9 years.
Okay. Jennifer acknowledges that she is... Did you already read this?
Not yet, no.
All right. She has known Bill for a long time. She's aware that Bill is a person of very substantial property, means, and income, and that she has declined to request and is not relying on any information, details, or particulars with respect to Bill's property, means, income, or financial circumstances.
That's the prenup. Now, that's not what they're saying now. Now she's saying because he does...
Well, hang on. What it says here is she doesn't, at the time of signing the prenup, she doesn't want to know anything about his financial status because it's not going to make any difference because she's going to finger him when they get divorced. I don't care what he's got now. When we get divorced, I want all of it.
She said because it's adultery, addiction to marijuana, alcohol, abusive behavior, physical abuse, sexual addiction, and frequent abandonment that they should throw the prenup out.
All of those were possibilities before you got married.
No doubt. But
now, anywhere in this prenup, because I'm not going to read all this, does it say if he does any of those, the prenup is void?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then you'll be getting nothing. Short of the $7 million.
And a house worth up to $1 million.
Upon marriage, Bill will continue to retain all rights, titles, and interest of every kind of character. Okay, so everything that...
He keeps all his stuff and she keeps all her stuff. It does say they both have substantial means to support themselves for the rest of their life. I don't want nothing from you. You don't want nothing from me. We just go our separate ways, except you buy me a house and give me $7 million.
Each party does hereby waive, relinquish, and release his or her rights to permanent maintenance or temporary maintenance, permanent alimony or temporary alimony, rehabilitative alimony, lump sum alimony. All right, so it covers anything after the marriage dissolves. I don't give you anything, you don't give me anything. We just decided that we can't stand each other. Get the hell out.
Yes, exactly. But it's not going to be the way it's going to end up. Because obviously there's child support. They have 4 kids. But there's also going to be, she's going to go back and say, that was before I knew he was an alcoholic and before I knew he smoked marijuana, before he abandoned us.
Then you do a little research before you sign a contract. Because all of those things are still possible.
But she's asked the judge now to throw this out.
If you're telling me.
Or at least review it.
What? Bill Murray just started in the last 10 years. So you had to have known he drank, he smoked pot, maybe did some other drugs.
When they did the movie What About Bob, they filmed a lot of that right about my sister's home. It was a smaller town, so everybody in town knew he was a drunk, he was smoking dope, he was womanizing. All this stuff was 20 years ago.
I didn't realize the movie was that old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he was doing it on a movie set. That doesn't mean that his wife knew about it.
Well, she didn't even know him at that time, really.
In consideration and condition upon Bill and Jennifer entering into a valid marriage with each other, Bill agrees following effective date of this agreement, he will purchase a house satisfactory to Jennifer. Why would you put that in there?
Because you have to put everything in there.
Well, you don't put satisfactory to her. You put satisfactory to both parties. Because if it's her, she's going to ask for something retarded.
No, I think it states in there it can't be over $1 million.
In Charleston, South Carolina, or such location, the parties that will not exceed $1 million will furnish the house at a reasonable cost and will cause title of the house to be taken in Jennifer's sole name. Said home and furnishings and any addition thereafter will be Jennifer's separate property. And then it just goes down and breaks everything else.
I still think it's just sad that this has become the norm for anybody that's got any kind of means.
You don't like the way things played out. Even though you signed a contract, you agreed to everything. You knew this marriage probably wasn't going to last forever, regardless of why it fell apart.
It's sad to go in thinking that, though. I mean, I know it happens, and especially happens with high-profile personalities. But, man, it's just sad that people start a marriage saying, okay, here's what's going to happen when we break up. Prenups are just sad to me. That's all, and that's something.
Prenups are realistic. It's real life. Look at the stats of people that get divorced. Real life, people don't stay married. I don't know. What else I got to say about that?
That was the dumbest question I think I've ever asked you. Like somebody sent an email asking, can we get an Amy in the wedding update?
There's no update. She put it on hold. And I'm devastated. Had to deal with that for the last 2-3 weeks. I don't even talk about it.
You're going to tear up? Where you got your eye twitch. That's when you got your eye twitch, when the wedding went on hold.
I got the eye twitch when the shop opened about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Why would I get a twitch because the wedding's on hold?
Because you're devastated. Trying to help me out.
I don't need any help.
All right.
The parties to this agreement intend to be married to each other. They believe that this... Did I already read that? Yeah, I went back to page 1. I don't get how a judge looks at this without saying, lady, you signed this. You know exactly what you were doing. You're the one that didn't want to know any information going in. Okay, you don't get nothing now but the $7 million in a house.
She says that he actually hit her one time and said to her, quote unquote, you're lucky I didn't kill you. So that's what she's saying. Things changed. No, that wasn't something I knew about, or I would never have married the man. I didn't know he was addicted to alcohol and marijuana. I didn't know he was abusive. I didn't know he would leave me for months at a time and not tell me or the kids where he'd be.
You said, regardless of why the marriage fell apart, the prenup was still there for a reason.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it lays out
the prenup was there in case he did wig out, in case he became an alcoholic and got abusive. That's why you have that in place. So you get $7 million, you get a house, and you don't feel like you're trapped in a marriage because you got no place to go. You got $1 million house, you got some cash to spend, you're covered. The prenup was there for a reason. It was to protect you. How much does she actually want? Because I never heard that.
They never said. She just said she's having a judge review it to see can they modify it at this point.
But he'll still have to pay child support as well.
Yeah, he'll have child support too.
Well, and you should.
Yeah.
That's not a gray area.
And I don't think it's unreasonable if you're marrying an actor to know that they're going to disappear for months at a time.
And they're going to be on drugs and they're going to drink. And they're going to screw other women.
No, that's not okay.
I didn't say it was okay. I said, you know that's going to happen.
Everybody doesn't do that.
Everybody in Hollywood.
No, not everyone. You know, there are actors that have been married for 25, 30 years.
That doesn't mean they're not doing something.
Everybody does that.
Yes.
No. Yes. There are people that are honest and don't cheat.
Wake up.
I'm wide awake.
People cheat.
I've been with Joy.
Guys cheat.
I don't cheat. I haven't cheated with Joy.
That's what you're telling us.
That's the truth.
Guys don't get on a 100,000 watt station and admit that they cheated. You might do it on KLLD. But you're not going to do it here.
Nobody will hear it. No, because I don't cheat.
You can tell us that all you want. That doesn't mean that you haven't.
Hook me up to the lie detector.
That still doesn't mean anything.
That's a lie detector.
There could be things that you would do that you wouldn't consider cheating, so you'd pass the polygraph.
You can ask me any which way you want. But my point is...
Your fat wife.
I was trying to say fact. My point is, it's just sad that people have to go into marriage with this. You're right. Is it reality? Yes. Is it just pathetic? Yes.
No, it's not pathetic. It's planning ahead for the future. And because they planned ahead, she at least got a house and $7 million.
Yeah, I just...
Now, without the prenup, she might have got more. But at least you had this guarantee. Because you didn't really know where his career was going to go when you signed this. True. It could have gone in the absolute crapper, and you're still going to get the $7 million in the house, whether he has to liquidate or whatever.
I bet he'd be the one back at the judge going, can we review this?
Yeah. What, Trey?
I'm just amazed he's got that much cash.
Bill Murray?
Yeah.
He's been in a ton of big movies.
I guess I just didn't think he commanded that much, because all those movies were in, I guess if he got residuals from like Ghostbusters and whatnot, because I didn't think they would just pay that much when he was in his heyday.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I got a voicemail. I forgot about this. I got this yesterday, the day before, a voicemail from Lycus. He also sent me a bottle of wine to the house.
Really? Why? Why the wine?
Where does this come up?
You don't drink wine.
Make any difference?
It's Tom Lycus. I heard the news. Buddy, congratulations on postponing the wedding. I think that is fantastic. I hope you got that case of wine. I was in Burgundy. I sent you half a case of Burgundy, some Côte de Beaune. I'll send you some Reynard, champagne. I also brought something back.
I didn't look at any of it. I just opened it up and stuck it in the fridge.
It's red wine. Don't stick in the fridge.
I don't like it hot.
Well, you don't drink it cold.
Actually, drink it slightly chilled.
Well, by a few degrees, not a fridge.
I don't like it hot. I don't like it room temperature.
Why would he waste money sending you wine? Why don't you just send you a box of...
He doesn't live here. He doesn't know I'm white trash.
That's true. My bad.
From the Dom Perignon tasting that I did in the caves there. By the way, don't use that at a wedding. you goddamn well better promise me you're not going to use that at some wedding. But nonetheless, good work. Good work pushing off that. And by the way, that's the first step, okay? It's like a 12-step program. Your first step is postponing the wedding, and now you need to get into permanent postponement mode until finally it is no longer postponement, it is a cancellation. But this is a good first step, buddy. So congratulations, and enjoy the wine. Talk to you later.
How come nobody else got me a gift?
I don't consider it a great moment in your life putting off a wedding. You've never been married. He's been married 4 times.
You brought it up not 5 minutes ago. Why get married?
I was just getting frustrated with the prenups and stuff. You've never been married.
Also, if I go further with this, I'm going to have a prenup.
I know, I'm sure you will, because it's just, I'm making a point.
So if you got married to Joy now,
I would not have a prenup. Would not ask for one.
You're a fool.
I'm not a fool.
A big one.
No, not really. No, I wouldn't have a prenup. I see.
So you want her to have whatever it is that you make from the time that you guys get married.
She won't have it. She won't ask for it. I've seen the way she behaves.
You're a dildo.
I've seen her behave with the way she behaves with her ex-husband. She doesn't even make him pay child support half the time.
You have no idea where relationships are going to go, and because of the dynamics that come into play, it's not like breaking up with me, because I'll hunt you.
I know.
I'm talking about as far as a business relationship.
Right.
When you go through something with the dynamics of a marriage, you don't know you had no clue what your ex, when you got divorced, you said there was no inkling of what she was going to turn into.
A different person really just showed. But I've seen Joy and something. We dated longer than my ex-wife and I. Joy and I have dated longer than my ex-wife and I did. I just feel like I really, really know her better than that.
And you've had some of those volatile times of any relationship.
That's normal in any relationship.
I've never stuck a Glock in any girl I dated's mouth.
Oh. Well.
Now, what was that? Were you just trying to see if it fit before you bought the gun?
No. I don't even remember the circumstance. I believe that was back when I was drinking. That's not what. We're on steady ground now. Everything's fine. I just don't see her doing it.
But you've gone
and I'm not going to go to the trouble of doing a prenup. Otherwise, I'm not going to get married.
Go to the trouble
of getting a lawyer and going through a prenup and deciding, here's what I have, here's what you get, I'm not going to do it. I don't think I'd have to, and I'm not going to do it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to get married. If I have to get a prenup, I won't get married.
Well, you're not going to get married anyway.
Well, it's possible.
Because obviously you don't love her.
I totally love her.
You don't date somebody for 5 or 6 years and don't marry them.
Yeah,
unless you don't love them. You don't love her.
I totally love her. She lives in a different city, and there's a reason she lives in that
move.
City. I know, but this is not possible now for her to move. It's not.
You can use those.
It's not possible.
That's where you take furniture, you put it in this thing, and you move it from point A to point B, and then you're no longer in a different city.
She wants her son to live in the house near her parents, so her parents can pick him up every day after school.
Well, then move to where she lives.
Or drive 3 hours round trip every day to work.
So you don't love her?
I do love her.
Why don't you guys?
I can't afford to drive the
guys. Yes, you can. No. Don't start with finances, because I'll crawl up your fat ass. Why don't you guys pick a city in between, and that way it's equidistant for the two of you? Because you don't do it because you don't love her.
I totally don't love her. That's absurd. Why would I be with her so many years if I didn't love her?
Because you don't have to see her all the time, and you can do whatever it is that you do untoward during the rest of the week.
I don't do anything untoward. I go home every damn night.
We don't know that.
Somebody would see me out if I can't go to Mexico and not be seen.
Oh, okay.
And you can have an unconventional marriage where y'all don't live together all the time.
You're not helping me, are you?
No. Why is it you're doing that? Are you doing spots for the Frankels for divorce?
No. I was doing the bankruptcy once.
Maybe that's Jagger.
That's Jagger.
Why is he doing spots for the divorce?
I don't know. That's odd.
So why is it Lycus was the only one that got me something?
I don't think it's a moment to celebrate, to be honest. I think
he sounded festive.
Well, because he doesn't want you to get married. He called you an SOB and all kinds of other names when you found out you were engaged. He doesn't. He's a bitter guy. He doesn't like marriage. That's his whole thing. That's his whole shtick. And what's close?
What do you want, Chloe?
Number 6.
6 what?
AV.
Oh.
The following is paid for by Michael Rubin.
Hey, it's J.D. Ryan with Russ Martin Show. Sometimes marriages just fall apart. People grow apart. They change.
Hello?
Oh, I guess I am doing spots. Well, I ain't getting paid for that. How come I'm not getting paid?
You cut that spot, you're not getting paid for it?
Is that still running close? Is that active?
That didn't make any difference. You still cut it.
Well, I cut it. That was a year ago.
The following is paid for by Michael Rubin.
Hey, it's J.D. Ryan with Russ Martin Show. You know, sometimes marriages just fall apart. People grow apart. They change. Sometimes there are really obvious reasons. I think we all know what those are. Either way, when it's time to move on with your life and make that incredibly hard decision, make a really smart decision, call Michael Rubin, the main divorce guy.
You are a two-faced weasel.
No, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going to go through it, you need to get a lawyer. I made the mistake of not getting a lawyer when I first had my boot because I trusted my ex-wife. I made a mistake. And as a result, I had custody issues and fighting and all kinds of...
So you would get, if you got married again, you'd do it without a prenup, knowing everything that could happen. Joey told you couldn't have a prenup, didn't she?
No.
That's exactly what it is.
No.
Why did it take me this long to figure that out?
No.
I'm a fool.
She didn't say that.
She told you couldn't get a prenup.
We talked about it briefly.
JD can't have a prenup.
No, I can have anything I want.
No, you can't.
I can have it. Well, then we don't get married.
And that's what she said, not you.
I hate you. Really. There's times I hate you more, and this is one of them.
When did she spring that on you? You couldn't have a prenup.
I didn't say, she didn't tell me I couldn't have anything. We brought up prenups, and she said, people that love each other don't have to do that. And it's true. I saw her point. That's all. I just saw her point. She was right. People that love each other don't need that.
People fall in and out of love.
Well,
things happen that you don't calculate. People go through different circumstances. Things change. Again, dynamics change that you don't count on, you can't calculate, and marriages fall apart. Now, give me $150 because I'm tired of straightening you out.
I'm giving you anything. No.
People in love don't get prenups.
Well, I don't think
people who want half of your crap when you get divorced don't want prenups.
She does not want half my crap. She doesn't want anything. She doesn't. How could you walk
through life and really be that blind?
If I stop, everybody just wait. Whew, where was I?
I think in your spot you even say people change.
Well, people do change.
So she could go from not wanting your stuff to wanting half.
No, she will never do that. I just
depending on what she finally caught you doing, I'd want half.
I don't do anything.
Knowing what I know off the air, I'd want all of it.
Oh dear God, you stop it. You know I don't do anything. I rarely ever even go out. I was out with Dan and Chloe the other night. It's the first time I've been out in a year.
We still don't know that.
You were at the men's club
for 45 minutes talking to some topless dancer.
Station event. I had to go there.
To sit with a naked chick for 45 minutes.
No. That was fine with Joyce.
Nobody checks on you during the week. There's no telling what you do.
Oh, please, somebody would tell. I can't breathe in this city without somebody telling you what I do.
I told him not to cheat. Was waiting on you, Dan. Oh, my bad.
You found out about the men's club. You found out about everything else that I go and do. Everybody rats me out. They love it.
You know what? Don't get a prenup and lose everything that you got. Because she's going to find out certain things, and the judge is going to decide. There's plenty of stuff to find out.
You made it up.
I'll testify. We need a break?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back.
Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Hi, Russ.
What do you got?
I have got Texas Motor Speedway. They cleared the wreck in Oak Cliff on southbound 35 at Marsalis, but traffic is still backed up into downtown, and southbound Stemmons is still heavy from Commonwealth. And then southbound 35 at Keith, there's a disabled vehicle still blocking the left lane, and that's backed up to at least 67. In North Richland Hills, westbound 183 at Bedford Euless, they cleared the problem, but that's still slow from Industrial Boulevard. Bedford 121 southbound at Harwood, the left lane is still blocked with a backup to Cheeks-Farger. And in North Dallas at Arapahoe in the Dallas Parkway, your signal lights are still flashing red. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. 77 for low tonight. Going to be hot now. They've added some thunderstorms for Friday, but the rest of the weekend just hot and sunny. It's 94 now at Live 105.3.
Did you watch any of the Obama acceptance speech last night?
I did not see it, no. What did he do? Other than just say I won? Do the Snoopy dance?
Just watching him last night gives me a rash.
Why?
Just that crawled up Hillary's clam. Just
kissing her ass.
Yeah.
He has to.
People will see through that. He's bashed her nonstop throughout this campaign, and now that he's got the nomination, she's not that bad of a chick.
It's time to make nice.
I can see, even Democrats can see that the only reason he's doing that is to garner the votes that she would have had.
But you honor the candidate, talk about what a great campaign she ran, and try to mend the party. You can't just say, yeah, I won, she's a bitch. And you say people
I'm going to put more credence into what he tells me if he says that. But I can't stand her. I'm glad I won. We're all better off that she's gone.
Clintons are done. Their reign of terror is over.
At this point, he has to look presidential. A president wouldn't say those things.
I'd vote for him. I'd go over and vote Democrat if he'd say, let me tell you the truth, Hillary is the C word. We're done. CNN Live. Back at you.
Double snaps.
I'd go tomorrow and register for as a Democrat.
And the fact that they're currently in negotiations of Obama paying off Hillary's campaign debt, either what she owes or the money that she put in. Which one is it?
The money she put in.
So he'll give that back to her if she'll support him for the race in November.
Right.
Why would I put any credence in that? I'm going to pay you off to support me. That doesn't mean that you really do. It means that I give you some cash and you're going to act like you like me for a while.
Because nobody's going to remember that in November.
I will.
Man, you don't vote.
I'll still remember.
Well, zippity-doo-dah. It's not going to do anything.
You don't think the Republicans will bring that up?
What'd you say to me?
I said zippity-doo-dah. It's not going to mean a thing.
All right. You can argue on that level. You don't think anybody is going to have any recollection of the fact that they slapped each other throughout the entire campaign and then there was some moment of clarity. Well, you know what? Maybe she's not that big of a...
That's politics. I got Reagan and Bush in 1980 beat the crap out of each other, but Bush still ended up being his vice president, and they were nice dandy for 2 terms. I mean, that's just the way politics are.
Reagan was brain dead.
Not in 80, he wasn't.
He probably didn't know who Bush was. Hey, look who we found.
This nice young fellow named Bush. Have I met him before? No. He's brand new.
He's going to be your vice president. Happy to have him. Mommy, do we know this guy?
He's a cute feller.
Put him in the White House.
I wonder how many of the Democrats are really pissed off like that lady that smokes yesterday. I wonder how many of them are really that twisted that because she says, I'll tell you right now, McCain's going to be the next president.
I wish somebody had found her.
Oh, yeah.
Right after Obama won the what state was it? A couple of states?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he won in both states. So.
He won one, lost one. I just don't remember which.
I wish somebody had found her. Where is she on your...
she's cut number...
I found it. Okay.
I'm proud to be an older American woman. Where are you from? New York City. Hillary...
Well, we smoke loud and proud. We're still okay to smoke out in public.
Because of New York.
They just won't let you smoke at the gas stations, the fireworks stands no more.
No.
Lousy Reds. Commies.
State, the best nominee that's possible. And the Democrats are throwing the election away. For what? An
A lousy cotton and Chesterfield.
Adequate black male who would not have been running had it not been a white woman that was running for president. And I'm not going to shut my mouth anymore.
I can keep my mouth open all the time because I've learned to smoke out of my...
I'm doing it now. Hold on. I have to take a breath.
Watch me blow smoke rings. They don't come out rings no more because I'm older.
More like a football.
They turned elliptical about 12 years ago.
Damnedest thing.
I had to get a cigarette holder to be able to keep it in there. About the size of a bowling pin. But it looks classy.
Stop.
Be called white, but you can't be called black. That's not my America. It's equality for all of us. It's about time we all stood up for it. That's right. I'm no second-class citizen. Right, we're not. And God the Democrats.
Where are you from?
I'm from Manhattan.
I
just said what my name is. Why? Why would you like my name? Maybe you're the CIA, the FBI? We couldn't even find...
I got nothing to say to you. You got anything else to say to me? Talk to the clam. This window's closed. Were you about to say something?
No.
Yeah, where this convention was being held.
God.
Yeah, my name is Harriet Christian.
Harrie.
What did she mean about the thing being secret?
It was a kind of a last-minute thrown-together deal. They did it by satellite. Part of them were in Washington, D.C. There was parts in Florida, parts in Michigan, and it was in like a hotel banquet room in each state. So that's why she said, because it was kind of a last-minute deal.
I'm going to guess it was probably on some type of Democratic website.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
And she found it.
Yeah, she was there. Clearly, they threw her out. That's how.
Well, it wasn't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they actually removed her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because she was doing this inside the convention, apparently.
Why? Why would you like my name? Maybe you're the CIA, the FBI? We couldn't even find out where this convention was being held. Yeah, my name is Harriet Christian.
I'm not screwing with any of you. I'll get rid of the ozone layer in 6 months if you don't stick Hillary in the White House. I'll smoke until it's gone.
You wonder, she sounds like she's as mad at the fact that it's a black man running versus the fact that the Democrats are handing it over to him.
Yeah, she called him inadequate black man.
And I believe a lot of white men also ran. This is just who's risen to the top.
Well, yeah, they weren't the only two candidates in the beginning. It was the Democratic Party. Well, she's blaming the Democrats, all right?
Yes.
Even though she's Democratic, she's blaming the party for screwing this up. You had a lot of other people that could have run, people that smoke. I've never seen him light up once, pussy! Anybody smokes a Carlton or the Caprice.
Virginia Slim.
I smoke those because I've come a long way.
CHRISTIAN. I came here for the vote of every American. And our Democratic Party
Ain't nobody voting yet.
threw us down the tubes. I was a second-class citizen before. Now I'm nothing. Why? Because they want to do what they want to do. And they think we won't turn and vote for McCain. Well, I got news.
So that's the biggest reason, using her as a sample, of Obama embracing Hillary, is
trying to win back these people.
Yes, try to keep everybody going to the McCain camp.
There are a lot of people that...
Why is it they wouldn't see that. The only reason that he would embrace her is just to garner those votes. It's not because he believes in her or her policies. It's just to get those people on his camp.
Because once she gets out on the campaign trail and talks about what a good president he's going to be, and it's going to be better than having a George Bush or a John McCain.
I know she's doing that because he gave her cash.
You're stupid. You'll forget by the time November girl.
I won't forget. I'll put it on the side of my cigarette. I see it every day.
I mean, that's just the general populace.
General Surgeon's warning.
Obama sucks. I'm not voting for that.
What? The Clinton people are mad because they feel like Obama has gotten every break possible, whether it be...
Well, he still did it all on his own. Well, nobody handed him anything.
No, there's an argument.
I can't stand him now. Only because during the speech last night, he was absolutely up Hillary's ass, and it was nauseating.
What did he say, like, for instance, specifically? Just kiss.
This was a better campaign because she was in it. She's made America better. She ain't done nothing.
She made history. His daughters have been inspired by her.
Well, a lot of people made history. That doesn't mean that they've added to society.
She was the first woman really to run for president.
What about, no, Geraldine Ferraro was vice president, right?
Well, to give you an example about why people think Obama got... there was a Saturday Night Live skit about the debate they had where they were asking Obama, so what's your favorite color? And then they go to Hillary and ask her a real hard question, and then...
So you think they lobbed him questions, in real life, lobbed him questions and hit her with the harder ones?
I think he got off easy, yes.
Well, she goes around and stumps for him, if that's what they call it, later toward the campaign. I hope somebody does a split screen where she gets up and talks about how he can't run the country, how he's not ready to lead, and then you split that with her going,
right. What changed over the past 4 or 5 months? Yeah. All of a sudden, he was provided the intellect to run the country. Now he's got the experience.
Where'd all that come from?
And I got $12 million.
And a pack of
the Republicans are already doing it. There you got media people putting the packages together right now.
Well, good.
Oh, as far as showing the inconsistencies?
Yes.
Good.
And they're also saying Clinton may not concede this and go and try to have a bloodbath on the floor of the convention.
And still fight for either the states, the votes that didn't count, or any remaining superdelegates.
The superdelegates can change their mind. Delegates can change their mind.
This whole process sounds like it came up, Dr. Seuss came up with it. Really, it doesn't follow any reasoning. Logic.
It's a bizarre system.
You see, this is a story where former President Jimmy Carter says he'll endorse Democratic Barack Obama after the polls close in the final primary contest. He says the fact is that Obama's people already know they have my vote when the polls close tonight.
Jimmy Carter drove this country into a brick wall.
If I was Obama, I'd be like, really? No, Jimmy, nice. Go do some peanut stuff.
Yeah. Why don't you go dig up Billy and visit with him?
Yeah, especially with high gas prices, trouble with oil, everything that is almost synonymous with the Carter administration. Yeah, I wouldn't have him.
But he's a super delegate, it says in the story.
Carter is?
He's a former president, so yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I think I'd rather have the endorsement of Reverend Wright.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it from Jimmy's brother.
Billy loved me. He shared a beer.
Just everything that, and Trey's right, people aren't going to remember that Jimmy Carter ruined this country in a course of 4 years. Unemployment was double digits. Inflation was double digits. Gave away the Panama Canal. Had the, Iranian hostage crisis?
Oh, yeah.
You had all of that. In fact, even the Iranians didn't like Carter because they released all the hostages the day that Reagan took office.
Just the very next day.
1201, right as he got sworn in. Because they knew Reagan was going to come, there was going to be bombs a-flying.
Yeah, Reagan didn't care.
Reagan was going to make an example.
And then not remember it.
Yeah.
And then do it again the next day.
Mommy, I'm going to go in here and push some buttons.
Did you do that yesterday?
I think I did.
Well, why don't you not do it today? Just
put up my TV tray. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing club? All right. 5:13, Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. News is brought to us by Rodeo Ford, where Chloe will be from 9 to 11 p.m. I guess 9 to 11 a.m. this Friday at Rodeo Ford, 4400 West Plano Parkway in Plano. It's an IRL ticket hit for Saturday night's IRL race at Texas Motor Speedway.
I heard that Danica, is it Patrick?
Yes.
On KRLD today. Is she hot?
Very.
How does she do as far as the overall standings?
She does. Oh, she's a good driver. She's won one race. She gets a notoriety for being a woman and hot more than her driving skills.
Well, yeah, she's, beat two of the odds as far as a chick driving in a man's sport, and not obviously, I've never seen her, but obviously she doesn't look like a bull dyke.
Oh, no, she's very cute. She's tiny, like 5 foot tall.
That's what you would expect somebody to look like if it was chick in a man's sport.
Sure. Something's tough and rough and tumbles and made it through that.
I used to drive in NASCAR.
No, you didn't. No, I don't believe so.
I would drive the other car so I could breathe in the fumes.
That's the only reason you draft a car is to breathe in the smoke coming out of the back one?
Yeah, I never won a race.
Number 2 a lot, though, right?
Almost always.
A lot cheaper than buying smoke. Gavin.
Yes.
Can we get this? When is the race? Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Can we get that Danica Patrick on?
Try to get a phoner with her. She's qualifying tomorrow, so it's tough. But I could try.
Well, she's qualifying tomorrow. What you doing Friday?
Friday they practice.
Doing what?
Riding around the track. Testing it.
Eddie Gossage sneak that bump back into the third turn? What's the practice?
No. It's going to be awesome because this year they have 28 cars. Last year they had 18.
All right. What does that mean? I got the more cars.
Right. Less chance of getting spread out at TMS.
So it's going to be a tighter race.
Very.
I think I even heard Eddie Gossage say this is one that'll probably turn out to be a photo finish.
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Well, see if you can get her up in the studio.
Well, I don't think she'll come in studio. She doesn't do that.
Why?
I don't know. She doesn't do that. I mean, but, like we had Indy 500 winner today was in our studios.
Who was that?
Scott Dixon.
He was up here?
Yeah, he was in with Pugs and Kelly.
Nobody told me that.
You're not a race fan.
You don't know who he is?
You're not.
Scott Dixon?
No. Scott Dixon. You don't have any idea who Scott Dixon is.
And obviously nobody in the room's going to help me.
Obviously not.
You know what number he is? I'm not that big of an Indy fan.
Oh. Okay. Well, see what you can do. Let me know.
I will. Would you like a phoner?
No, I want her in the studio.
I can't get her in studio.
You want me to get out my nail clippers again?
Oh, come on. Just because I can't get Danica Patrick?
So far, you haven't delivered on anything. I don't have a digital board, and now you can't get me a guest in the studio.
Well, it's like 2 days before the race. They don't do a lot of traveling when it comes to this stuff.
First of all, TMS isn't that far from here, and she's not going to be on the track all day. You got Thursday and Friday. After she qualifies, get her up here.
She's not going to come up here.
So you're not going to ask?
I'll try. I'll try. No.
Got an email about that yesterday.
What?
Clipping your fingernails on the show has to be the dumbest thing you've ever done. You want Gavin to get to talk to your boss about getting you a digital board, even though they basically said you can't have one. Then when you didn't get your way, you pouted and you clipped your nails. Quit acting like a child. Grow up.
What exactly would you expect from me in this show?
Absolutely.
I've said this before. I parade around my idiocy. I drink. I spit on people. I throw food at people. I glue dog hair to people. If you didn't get what you wanted out of this show, it's your own fault. You made the choice. Blame yourself. Leave me alone.
Good point. Radio, as Trey said, it's radio history. No one's ever, I'm sure, clipped nails for 5 minutes on the radio.
There are a lot of things people don't do on the radio. It doesn't mean it's history.
If you
and it doesn't mean it's genius.
I bet you people sit in their cars and listen to it.
To make room myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Dan just sent me a link to it. She is hot.
Oh, you see her? Yeah. What picture is that? I can't see it.
What's she look like?
I can't tell how tall she is.
Oh, she's short. She's like 5'1".
She's holding a helmet. If you use that as a point of reference, yeah, she looks like she's maybe 5 foot tall.
Like a fire suit picture?
No, it's like a negligee. She, remember the chick from Hill Street Blues? The brunette? I can't think of her name. That's what she kind of looks like in this picture. Let's see, normal screen. Is she posed naked?
No. In fact, there was a stink over her doing some racy pictures with like half her fire suit on and like swimsuit top.
Yeah. I think Lee Harris has got a copy of that in his office. He had some sexy picture of her up for a while.
Why was that controversial?
Because she's supposed to be a really good role model for young girls, and they thought it was a little too racy. And the IRL wasn't. It's not the image the IRL likes to project.
No. All right. What we're in the middle of? You already started news? Dan,
sorry, let's try and find more photos for you.
I'll dig them up later.
Okay. Wednesday, June 4th, 2008. Birthdays today. Angelina Jolie turns 33. Noah Wiley turns 37. Elle DeBarge turns 47. Parker Stevenson is 56. Michelle Phillips, 64. And Dr. Ruth turns 80. Well, a New York woman is suing American Airlines, saying it endangered her severely allergic 4-year-old son by serving peanuts on their flight.
Put a bag over his head.
Well, go ahead, Dan. Tell the rest of the story.
Tamina Hawk says that airline workers assured her several times that peanuts would not be served, but it says flight attendants did so anyway during the April 18th flight from New York to L.A. American Airlines spokesman Tim Smith says the company's peanut policy is posted on its website, and it states the airline serves some foods that could contain peanut ingredients and might have passengers who bring peanuts on board.
That's the point. You can never control what everybody's going to bring on an airplane.
Well, that's the two sides of this argument is she checked with American Airlines on this flight. Are there going to be any peanuts served? They said no. All right. But people can bring on whatever they want. And if your kid really is that allergic to peanuts to where he could go into some type of seizure just because of the dust, then you stick a mask on him or put a bag over his head.
You probably should have done both of those, one the bag on his head. But there's got to be masks you can use. Because if you're that twisted off on peanuts, you can walk into a 7-Eleven and somebody open up a bag of peanuts and you go into some kind of shock.
What is she suing the airline for?
It doesn't give an amount as far as how much she's suing for.
And I know both parents are doctors, so they really knew all the possible dangers because you're in a cabin where the air's recirculated. Yeah, whether it's purified or not, you're still going to have that dust, especially if somebody is carrying it on them. Whether they served it, what eventually happened was they served peanuts in first class. They were selling it to the first class passengers. That's where the problem came up.
And you can't guarantee just because the airline says no, we're not going to have peanuts. Like you said, doesn't mean you can't have 20 passengers that have bags of peanuts.
Yeah, everybody could have brought an assload of nuts onto the plane, and now you've got the same problem. In fact, it might be even worse.
People look to sue airlines for anything these days. That's the big talk today.
It makes you wonder if they took the kid on the airline just for this potential suit.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Because you know that the possibilities are going to be endless for what people are going to bring onto a plane. And so what makes you think, only because the airline's not giving it out, that your kid's going to be safe?
Absolutely none. Again, people are just trying to beat these airlines to death. The big talk today on most of the talk shows, other than ours, was about the weight issue. Well, that's not fair. You're discriminating. I knew that would be the first thing, the weight discrimination.
Who's saying that?
Oh, that was on CNN all day today, off and on.
Dips.
They're reading emails. They got people on that they've stopped on the street.
And
they're just nickel-diming us to death.
Their argument, the airlines are having to pay for the increased fuel costs. Mm-hmm. I think CNN's probably covered that. The argument on the other side that they were using was what? That it's not fair. Why?
It's discriminatory for some people cannot control their weight.
I'm shipping something. I'm a carrier. I'm going to carry something based on its weight. That has nothing to do with you, doesn't have anything to do with your color, your history, your lineage, anybody in your family. If you weigh more, I'm going to charge you more.
I'm sick. I can't control my weight. I have diabetes. I have some kind of liver issue.
You know what? Exxon don't give us a discount when we start loading up the plane because you're sick. We're going to have to pay whatever it is we pay. And if you weigh more, it's going to cost us more, and you're going to pay for it. Or you don't fly with us.
Obesity is a disability. I'm covered.
No, multiple sclerosis is a disability. Being paralyzed is a disability. And really, the only time the ADA should come into this is if you've got somebody in a wheelchair and they're going to have to pay more to shift a wheelchair. Then you're going to be covered by the ADA. But if you're just fat, I can't help you.
People are twisted, and as you said yesterday, the big thing is 66% of us are fat in this country. So the majority of your passengers are going to have to pay more. Nobody wants to. All you need is one airline that's going to... Southwest has never said anything, but if it was going to be anybody, it would probably be them. Probably would be. They have a stated policy about 2 seats. If you lop over, they will make you buy 2 seats. In fact, they even had it on that TV show they had called Airline. Then obviously they've already stepped in that direction, and it doesn't become discriminatory. It's not embarrassing. All you have to do is have somebody step on a scale. Doesn't have to show their weight, which is a rip. And print out the ticket, and here's what it's going to cost. What a big neon sign above their head. Yeah. Badass. Here's what this person's paying. Spot them up to 250 pounds, and anything over that, you're going to have to pay extra. Because it happens with anything that you ship, whether it's parcel or people, it costs more to ship bigger things. If you're fat, you're bigger, and you're going to have to eat it. We've just crossed some line at some point where people really have become just baggage, and that's what kind of is driving all this. It's not baggage. We're more than boxes. We're humans.
but you're also flying on something that's mechanical that doesn't understand that you're fat because you got some type of disability. This jet is going to eat up fuel, and if the plane weighs more, it's going to eat up more. The plane doesn't care about you or your issues at home.
But the airline should.
Well, the airline can, but they still have their cost. And instead of making everybody pay for it, make the fatties pay.
Why don't you go get on FedEx and tell them you're fat? You want to be shipped for the same price.
Yeah, why don't you call FedEx? Tell them you got a package you want to ship that's 320 pounds. Find out what that'll cost.
You're right.
Now, how is that discriminatory?
That is certainly not, because people are used to it.
Ask them what it would cost to ship 180, and then ask them what it would cost to ship 320.
But we're used to that. That's the only thing. You're right. It just takes somebody to break the mold.
Don't want to take any of those.
Line 5 is upset with you.
Oh, good. Yay. Yes, Margaret.
Russ, I really wish you'd get off this shipping of people.
Okay.
As an airline employee, we don't ship people. Federal Express ships packages.
Well, you can phrase it however you want, but you're shipping. You're shipping people.
You ship freight. But
you ship anytime you transport something from one point to another. You're shipping something. You can call it whatever you want, and you can color it any way you choose, but you're still moving people. And if they weigh more, it's going to cost the airline more. And the people that are underweight or average weight shouldn't have to pay more for the fat people. What do you weigh?
What do I weigh? Yeah. I weigh 117 pounds.
What are you, about a foot and a half tall?
You always go.
We need a break.
Get down, get down, get down, get down. We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Get it. Feel the funk, yo.
You think changing the semantics as far as the wording goes of we don't ship people, we ship freight.
Because they're just using the airline industry. They don't like to think of human beings. They like to, it's Americans think, we know why you fly. That whole personal thing. I'm sorry, we're past those days. That story, yeah, literally. The story was just on CNN again while Trey and I were in the office. And I was amazed. What did you say, Trey? The average weight considered for a person on the airline is what?
They factor weight and luggage per person as 220 pounds. That's how the airlines do, so they can gauge fuel and everything else. And I think that's way under.
Well, realistically, it's way under, because very few people, if you're carrying luggage that weighs 20, 30 pounds, that means you got to weigh 180 or 190, and that ain't going to happen.
No.
I wonder where they came up with that number.
I know the numbers used to be 175, and that was like in the 60s.
Did that include luggage, or was that just the person?
That was the person and luggage. It's considered both. But that was in the, literally in the 50s and 60s when they first started calculating. Nowadays, I think the average would be more like 250.
With luggage?
With luggage.
No, I'd put it closer to 280.
Yeah.
Go walk the mall, and then if you were going to open up an airline, decide what it is you're actually going to allocate for weight. And I'll go back to the old chick that called. You only ship packages. You ship Chesterfields. You don't ship. That's who she sounded like.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't ship people. You ship coffee. You ship Winston.
Right.
You ship Doral. You don't ship Fred.
That was her point. It was an airline sticking point. We don't ship people. We relocate them. We move them. We let them travel.
But it still made it sound like she wasn't up for just charging people by the weight.
They're going to have to get over that, because I think you brought this up months ago, and I thought how ridiculous when you first brought it up. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. And I don't know how you do that, because people buy tickets online. I'm going to lie about my weight. Okay, my driver's license says I weigh this, but I really weigh this.
Well, and if you spot everybody the same weight, I'm going to give you 220 pounds. Mm-hmm. Anything over that is going to be a premium, and you're going to have to pay that. And that's going to be anybody of colors, race. The only people that are obviously going to be exempt are people who are really handicapped, possibly with their wheelchair, because you're going to have more luggage. Or you're going to have more weight to ship.
That makes sense, but just the first day they put scales in at the airline terminal.
I'm going to go down there and sit.
I know you are. You're going to point at anybody where the red light goes off.
Fat ass. Write that check. What were you going to say, Dan?
I was going to say they already have scales in most major airports to weigh the luggage. It's like I said yesterday, have the person, when they slap their luggage on that scale, stand on it with them. That way they don't have to have the embarrassment of the scale coming back and saying, you're a fat ass. Right.
Well, my luggage actually has some cinder blocks in it.
So does your ass.
So it's not me. It's not me that actually weighs that much.
Doesn't matter.
And nobody has to know what you weigh. You step on a platform, it weighs you, you print out your ticket, you're done. And here's the other thing. First of all, if the airlines had a monopoly and there was no other way to travel, then you might have some type of argument of, well, they're trying to gouge us.
If you don't,
but here's the other thing. If you drove a car from here to L.A., if you're fat, if you weigh 300 pounds, it's going to cost you more in gas than it would me or somebody like Chloe.
A little bit.
So why don't you go back and bitch to Chevron because you had to buy more fuel to move your fat ass from here to L.A. in a car? It's exactly the same concept.
It is.
What were you going to say, Dan?
Exactly what you just said.
Then I'll be shutting up.
Yeah. If you don't like it, drive. But then you're right. No. Then you have to complain to the gas companies for the exact reasons you just mentioned. And there's no way around it. If you're big, there are certain things that come along with being that big. You know that, not to mention the health risks.
It almost makes you lock up because it's an argument. I don't really see the other side. I got to spend more fuel to move you. You got to spend more fuel to drive your car because you weigh more. More poundage, more it's going to cost in fuel, whether it's a Toyota or a 747. Why is it's okay for Chevron to charge you for gas? You got to buy more, but Southwest can't do it.
I don't think people really think I weigh 50 pounds more than the guy sitting next to me. Why should I pay more? Is it really making that jet engine out there just puff and puff? And the answer is if
you got 200 or 300 people on a plane and everybody's overweight, yeah.
Well, the answer is if they're starting to take off pillows and blankets and peanuts and different accoutrements that are adding up weight and the phones and everything else that have come off the airplanes, clearly 50 pounds makes a difference. If it was just one person, it wouldn't make any difference. But since 3/4 of the population, or at least 2/3 of the population is overweight, there's going to be a good chance that plane's going to be full of pigs. It's going to come. It's going to happen. Then airline employees can get pissed off, and everybody else can get pissed off. Well, then I don't see any other option unless they just jack up everybody's airfare, which they're getting ready to do. Anyway.
That's what's going to end up happening. They're
going to give
it's going to be a bad PR move
first.
Nobody's going to like it. So everybody, even though it doesn't cost as much to ship somebody like Chloe as it would somebody Stacy, Chloe's going to have to pay more, even though that's not his. He shouldn't,
at least until they get this other thing in place.
And because Chloe's got to pay more, and he doesn't weigh as much, that's almost discriminatory in his case. Or he's being punished for something that's somebody else's fault.
And if you're bringing a kid, you're going to pay the same as the fat ass, even though you're taking more fuel.
Then you're going to have other things come into the argument. What if the chick's pregnant? What do I do with that?
You're still weigh. It doesn't matter. Why you weigh?
They don't like that. We don't ship people. We ship freight.
I know. FedEx ships people. FedEx ships freight. We take people.
And I'm sorry, I can't stand an argument like with the lady that called in saying that, Russ, is that she's trying to say, oh, we're in the service industry. We provide a service. It's for people. Blah, blah. Shut up.
Yeah, you've got shareholders that you got to answer to. It all goes back to that. It's a business. You don't have to fly. You don't got to fly with us. Maybe somebody will step up to the plate and fill that void and only fly fat people all around the country. Fat bitch plus air. Plus size fat bitch air. Pig hair.
And you get
there. That's a lot easier to say. Pig hair.
A little snout on the front of the plane.
Yeah.
You've already got the logo.
Curly tail.
At the very end.
Yeah.
All the planes are pink.
And, of course, the wings are white.
That'd be fun to watch them land to the airport. Here comes a pig plane.
Always there for you when pigs fly. You're welcome. I want to take any of those, Alfie.
Line one's not bad.
Okay. Yeah, Tony.
Hey, Russ. Actually, when I just came back from Boston, and my luggage I had to bring back was over 50 pounds. I had to pay, and I don't see why that's any different. I'm surprised the airlines haven't already done this already.
Well, it goes back to what that chick was trying to say earlier. Is we're okay with shipping luggage, packages, inanimate objects, but when you're talking about shipping people, then you can't really do it based on the weight. Well, the hell you can't.
Yeah. I also, do they also have to, when the lap babies, do they have to pay extra for those too, or that's something?
What do you say?
Lap babies.
The lap babies, when the parents can bring their kids with them on their seat. I'm not sure if they have to pay extra for that or not.
I wasn't aware you could bring a baby in your lap. I thought they had to have a child seat.
I had two.
I think he's talking about an infant.
Yeah, an infant.
I still didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I had two of them on my flight to Boston, so it was awful.
The answer to your question is no.
All right, thank you.
No, they do not charge more for that right now, if they do that at all, because they don't charge more for weight. I just can't imagine somebody holding a baby. God forbid a crash. That thing's going to be a projectile.
I thought they always held the babies.
No, you put them in
I'm talking about an infant, something that's like 7-8 months old. You put that in a baby chair?
I would. If you have a crash, you think you can hold a 7-month-old baby if you have a plane crash?
Leon is a flying baby.
I'm not kidding.
JD, if I'm in a plane that's going down, the least of my concerns is a 6-pound baby sitting in the back aisle.
You say that, but most people survive plane wrecks.
And then if they do it in the baby,
hit in the back of the head with a baby.
If the crash is to where you can survive it, chances are the mom's going to hang on to that baby.
I'm telling you don't know. The G-forces, that little baby now weighs...
Plus, if you don't think you're going to make it, you're going to turn loose of that baby.
Just let it roll down the aisle.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to die anyway.
And if everyone lives and you die because a flying baby hits you in the head, it's your time to go.
I'm not going to argue with God on that note. You got me.
Weirdest thing happened to me, Lord, today. In the head with a baby.
I was killed by a toddler. A flying toddler.
All of a sudden, the man in the back of the plane with the crabs attached to him just so bad.
All right. Any one of those, Alfie? Because I'm done with it.
Line 5's got a question.
Okay.
The babies is getting me.
Quit it. Yes, Cliff.
Yeah, I got no problems with it. I'm a little over 6'4" and about 300 pounds. I got no problems with paying more as long as they're going to accommodate me. Now, I don't need a bigger seat or anything like that, but I mean, I want to sit on an aisle, not a window, so that my head's not hitting something. But if
you get hit by the flying baby.
Exactly. But, I don't mind paying a premium as long as they're going to now accommodate me. If I'm paying more, then, I want an aisle seat, and there shouldn't be...
Well, it depends on how wide you are. If you're too wide just to take up one seat, then they're going to give you it's more than an option now with Southwest. You've got to buy the second seat. So you're going to pay more, but you're going to be more comfortable because you got two seats.
Yeah, I just don't see any problem with it, man. We've been doing it for shipping materials for how long now? It seems to work fine.
All right, thank you.
And I can see what they would say. They would say the people versus packages thing. Packages don't have feelings, but people do.
Okay. Again, I go back to the jet. It knows it's got to burn a certain amount of fuel to move your fat ass from here to there. It doesn't care about you or what you shoved in your face the night before.
The same physics apply, you're right.
And if you do...
Didn't I say I was done with this?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Ready, Dan?
Yeah.
And you can't do the online check-in. If just tell us what you weigh.
Well, people are going to lie, but when you get there...
I think Trey brought that. Did you bring that up during the break?
Yeah.
I think you could go ahead. Maybe I'm not done with this.
You could do it online. Feel like, if you're honest, you put 200, someone looks at me, you go, 200, all right. Looks at Dan, 180, okay.
All right.
If Stacy comes along and it says 200, you go, sir, you need to move over here.
Not on any planet, much less here.
Excuse me, sir, if you come over here to the scale, if you'll put down all the Japanese people in the cities that you're holding in your hand, we'd like to weigh. So you can't do the online the check-in because you can't. Everybody's going to lie about it, and you're going to have people again who are average weight that are still in the long run going to eat it.
Yeah, because if you could do it by weight, if someone says, I weigh 600 pounds, you could factor them in, giving them 2 seats for the airline and not trying to cram them into one.
Well, they do that now, or at least Southwest does. And I think that Southwest was challenged as far as the court system goes on that, and they won.
They did go
So
forward.
Southwest really has already sort of set the precedent with this. You weigh more, you're too fat to fit in one seat, you're going to eat up 2 seats, you're going to pay for it. And now the courts are already behind them, so you really can take the ADA and shove that up your fat ass.
That's true, never thought of that.
You ready, Dan?
Yeah.
We okay, Cliff?
Yes.
All right, 5:52 at KLLI, Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Dan O'Malley's here with us.
Thank you, Russ. The Dallas Police Department's bait car program will remain suspended indefinitely while an evaluation takes place. Chief Kunkel says police tried to disable the bait car shortly after a thief stole it, but the system failed. Seconds later, that car slammed into an elderly woman, killing her. So it's been suspended indefinitely until they figure it out.
Even though it's been successful all the way up to this point.
And they're going to go back to the fact that that car was really being chased. It was being followed at that point, but not chased.
And he
would have done that anyway.
Yeah, regardless of whether it was a bait car or he stole a car, if he saw a cop, whether the cop was watching him or the cop was just around, he's still going to run through the stop sign. The lady's still going to be dead. So I don't know why you would put the bait car program on hold.
I think they're doing this while they investigated, just make
What's to investigate? It was technology. They tried to shut the car down. It took longer than it was supposed to. That was it. They didn't make the guy run the stop sign.
I think they're going to wait to see how far this goes into court and what the family wants, how they can settle with the family of the old lady.
But if you can't disable it, then what's the point? You've got to be able to disable that car, because then you're just going to end up in car chases, which is what you already have, like a no chase policy. So you have to be able to disable that car if the system fails.
No, if they can't, according to Chief Kunkel, unless is stealing a car a felony?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, then you can chase him.
Yeah. Go get him.
Yeah.
Well, then why? I mean, you encourage something you don't want. If you can't disable that car, it really is a moot point to have the program.
So you don't want to chase any cars that are stolen, whether it's a bait car or not.
The less, as much as I think they're entertaining as hell, the less chases, the better. And especially if you're creating one by having a bait car that you can't disable, that the whole purpose is you're supposed to be able to.
So far, they've had, I guess up until now, an unblemished record. So why take one and scrap the whole program?
Well, how many times has the disabling mechanism not worked and the guy they got him to pull over?
Who cares? Nobody died.
Well,
your question would be, how many people have to die before you scrap it? Ask me that.
How many people have to die before you scrap it?
45.
Go ahead, Dan. Mm-hmm. Hunting. Ooh, okay, here we go.
Is this a bear story?
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes a gun ain't enough, is it?
And how? Hunting season came to a dramatic conclusion for one Southern Oregon man when a bear mauled him to death. Aaron Wickoff said it all began when one of the hunters in his party shot a bear, but it ran away. Later, as the group was searching for the wounded animal, Wickoff got about 50 feet ahead of the rest of his friends. That's a no-no. That's when he said the bear suddenly came out of nowhere and began biting and scratching him. He got my hand because he got me rolled over, and he was going for my face, and I just took the gun and actually shoved the gun in his mouth. And he bit down on my hand and on the gun. One of Wickoff's friends fired another shot, killing the bear.
Why is it they're surprised?
Because they're out hunting. You don't expect the bear.
Trey and I were talking about this earlier. Sometimes bears do that. If you're out shooting at them, sooner or later one of them's going to get twisted. and really, what kind of sport is it if there's no danger to you?
Well,
this puts it back on more of a playing field. And how many guys would go hunting bears if the bears were actually carrying around guns?
And as far as hunting is concerned, he earned this bear. Yeah. No one else can say that, I shot him from 100 yards away. This guy had the gun in his mouth when it got killed. He earned this bear.
Right. Things would change dramatically if you had hunters going out into the woods and all of a sudden all the deers are carrying Remingtons.
Surprise!
Yeah. The deer's got feeders set up with moon pies and drinks.
And people are urine?
Yeah.
That was good. I don't see anybody around here. I'm going to grab that moon pie. What's that noise?
Hang on, Lenny, you got one.
Move your hoof.
Yeah. The antlers in the way. Move before this one takes off. God, how are we going to get that one over the hood of the Chevy?
Never mind. That's a great car.
I told you to buy a pickup.
Listen to me.
Ready to say something, man?
No, just other ideas that would attract humans.
Set up a pole and a couple of teat dancers.
Actually, that's about where I was going. You just set up a picture just of like a cardboard cutout of a pair of breasts, and you will attract 50 men right there.
All right, go ahead.
Carl Weisman, who wrote So Why Have You Never Been Married?, found that in 1980, 6% of men over 40 had never married. But today, that number has actually gone up to 17%. That's because men are 10 times more afraid of marrying the wrong person than never getting married. Men are so afraid of getting into a bad marriage that 62% of men surveyed said they will only marry the perfect woman. And of course, since that's hard to find, many men just never actually do it. They're terrified at the prospect of marrying the wrong person and shelling out a ton of money in a divorce.
And I don't know that I found the perfect woman.
Yes, you have.
And when you finally make that commitment, then obviously all the other variables come into play. Who else is out there? What is it I've missed?
You didn't miss anything. You've dated.
You don't know what I've missed?
You've dated around. You've always been.
Why would Amy be the perfect one? Obviously, Lycus doesn't think so.
Lycus doesn't know her. Doesn't really know you that well.
Can we play it again?
Yeah, sure. It's Tom Lycus. I heard the news. Buddy, congratulations on postponing the wedding. I think that is fantastic.
Good. So what is he?
He's met Amy a couple of times. Tom's been to the house.
And he sized her up in a couple of times.
That's all that Tom does. Obviously, he knows what he's up to.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
You guys are perfect together. She puts up with you.
Just because somebody puts up with me doesn't mean they're perfect for me.
And you put up with her. You love her. You guys have so much going on. Just as a couple.
I barely see her.
Which is perfect for you.
Yeah.
That actually may be in your favor.
Well, the only reason I barely see her now is because of the shop and all the other duties I got to deal with.
I thought about that when you first bought the shop. I was wondering if you were possibly looking, because you were going through that phase of I don't really want to be married, but it's coming up anyway. I wondered if you were thinking about buying something, but you bought a shop that's really not close to your house as a way to be away from the house more.
I didn't really have anything to do with any of the variables.
Oh, okay.
Daryl went out. He looked at a bunch of different places, looked at the prices, looked at the cost per square feet, decided what was going to be a good location, traffic. We just went from there.
Oh, okay. I just wondered.
And I don't know anything about cars, so I really can't go up there and do anything short of pay for things and approve things.
But you do hang out there, and you are there on a regular basis. Or when Daryl lets the other employees off, you want to go there and hassle them.
Well, next time he'll think before he closes on a Monday without checking with me. Then he's got to work with me as a lube tech.
That had to be so much fun for him. No, really, Russ, I can handle it. I don't care. We got 14 cars back. I can handle it.
I'll be staying here all day. In fact, I've decided to start smoking. Oh, which car do I start with? And I got 2 more emails asking if he could buy that front end alignment.
Just let him buy it. You know you're going to eventually break down and buy it anyway. You can do the math. Have you done the math without anybody's help? As far as how much money you can potentially make. And even shoot it low.
All right, let's go. Let's short sheet it on this. You pay TTNL for the machine, probably $37,000.
All right.
If you charge $70 for a front end alignment, if you do, let's see, was $100 a month, which I think is a lot.
And Daryl said you could do a maximum of 15 a day.
All right, let's say we do $100 a year. That's $7,000 a year. It would take me 5 or 6 years to pay for it.
You do a lot more than that, do you think? I think it's a very low number.
100 sounds like a lot.
He said you would be turning him away at 15 a day.
It's 2 a week.
Okay, 15 a day, 5 days a week, or 6 days a week. How much is that? How many cars is that?
90.
Okay. What's 90 times 70?
630.
Okay. What does that mean?
I don't know. Trey's good at numbers.
Okay, that's the number of cars, right? No.
We should never do math.
I got to sell this shop.
No, you don't. You're doing fine.
All right, 90.
I don't even know what it is I'm calculating.
All right, 90 is the number of cars per week.
Okay, and you charge $70 per car for an alignment. How much is that?
$6,300.
Okay, and $6,300 times 4 is what?
$25,200
a month. Okay. See, it would take me about a month and a half to pay for the damn thing.
Whoopee. 2 months and you're in the black. What?
Yeah, I come to $315,000 a year.
What'd you say?
Andre. Just said 2 months. You're in the black.
You want some cookies with cream?
No, I don't.
No. Do we need a break?
Yes.
I would. If I'm going to do this, I need to do it now.
Yeah. Get drunk and do it. That's when you make your best decisions.
Because if the business from Discount Tire, Sam's, Walmart really is going to come in, summer's when people like to do a lot of traveling, and that's when they want to get new tires, front end, whatever.
Get everything all, tuned up and ready. Yeah. Ready for the summer.
I'll black out if I got to write a check for $37,000.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
Just do it. Don't need to get the loan, and you can just split the profits with me.
I don't need a partner.
Okay.
I got 2 or 3 emails that Trey forwarded me. Some guy said he'd buy the machine and cut me in on a percentage.
So they do that at beauty shops, on car places.
Yeah, I don't need anybody else in the mix.
Yeah.
I got enough variables. What are you doing now, Trey?
I just, at $60 for 50 weeks a year.
Why'd I go down $10?
I just was doing a
I'm not having a sale.
That's still $270,000 a year. So on a
at $60.
Yes. At 50 weeks. So you're going to give the front end tech 2 weeks vacation.
Why?
I just was worst case scenario.
How much for $50? I'm kidding.
He's about to figure it.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
Cheers.
Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Okay, Dan.
Dan, I'm coming. I'm sorry. I was trying to pull this up.
It had a 9-minute break.
We were just talking about it. In an interview on the 5th anniversary of the Iraq invasion, Vice President Dick Cheney told ABC's Martha Raddatz that he doesn't care about the American public's views on the war. Cheney was roundly criticized for his remarks. A poll released a couple of weeks later found that 81% of the American public believed that when making an important decision, government leaders should pay attention to public opinion polls. Nearing his speech at the National Press Club, the moderator gave Cheney a chance to apologize. Do you wish that you had answered that question differently, she asked. Does it matter if the public disagrees sharply with the wisdom of the war? Cheney instead made up an excuse about his initial comments, claiming that Martha had never actually...
Did he backpedal a little bit?
Yeah, he claims that Martha had never actually asked him a direct question.
That's a statement. That's not a question. So he was saying that...
Well, initially, he's right. She said 2/3 of the American public don't believe that we should be in the war.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's a statement. And because I have no comment, I'll say so.
Well, he's trying to backpedal now, which I wish he hadn't done, by saying something like, what I was trying to say to her was, okay, so, do you have a question that goes along with that? But that's not the way he answered the question. He sneered and he went, so. There's a big difference.
2/3 of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So? Well, what he's saying is, so the question is what?
No.
That's the way I hear it.
Then he goes on to say, well, we can't be blown off course, so I don't care. That's the way he answered it.
Well, he answered the question. She threw out a statement. He's waiting on the rest of it.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't get why. What does he care about going back and rehabilitating a statement that he made?
He even said that the other day when he talked about West Virginians sleeping with their cousins. He says, "How can you say that stuff when you're not running for re-election?"
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. Here's the booger on my nose. I'm flipping it. I don't care.
People, it doesn't make any difference. People sleep with their families all the time. That's why I started the website sisterfister.com. Look it up.
It's because it's in Virginia.
2/3 of America.
What? Oh, as far as the Republicans?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just trying to do a spin for the other people.
Make it
Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So
you don't care what the American people think?
No, I think you cannot be blown off course by the fluctuations in the public opinion polls.
And he's right. And why? What did you say that the stats were on people blogging that said it was 80?
They said 81% of the American public believe that they should take into account the public opinion polls.
Not everybody does research. Not everybody has the information that the government does. And I'm not trying to be naive about what the government does or what they don't do. But I'm not going to have all the resources that the generals, the president, anybody else would have access to. So why would you take my opinion?
And it's real easy to sit over here in this country and go, I hate the war. We shouldn't be in the war. Okay, that's real fun to say, and it looks really good on the entertainment tonight. But as far as the real world goes, you don't know what really is going on over there, period.
And what's your plan of action? Just to say we need to get out. Yeah. There's got to be more than just yanking them out. There has to be some template that you're going to follow. You just can't do it and then just hope for the best, sign everybody's annual and say stay in touch.
And turn and run. And then what happens to us? What happens to everything else that we have going on in that part of the world?
All right. Goddamn.
Okay. Last month, Sean and Beth Snyder of Denton lost their dog, a black lab mix named Amicus. Luckily, police found the dog and notified the worried couple, but when the Snyders went to pick Amicus up, he'd already been euthanized. Now
why?
What happened? Now they want city authorities to reimburse them in the amount of $206,000 to cover the lost future breeding opportunities, and emotional pain and stress. They have a put-down policy with the Denton Animal Shelter. If you don't pick up a dog within a certain number of days,
but the people were coming to get it.
They were coming to get it in a week. They had to wait for a paycheck. So somewhere along the line, that note got lost, is what happened.
A note saying, don't put this dog down. The person that did it didn't see the note.
How much was it going to cost to get the dog out?
What was it,
$109 recovery fee. They said they had to wait for payday so they could afford that. But then they actually showed up a day before they said they were going to come.
But a day after the dog had been put down. And they showed up on the 5th day.
And they're suing for $200,000?
Yeah.
I love my dogs, but I don't know if I could actually stand up in court and justify how losing one of them is worth $200,000.
Well, they say, breeding, I don't know what you make breeding dogs, but pain and suffering, people are going to go for it, shoot for the moon. Especially when they went to the trouble of calling the pound and saying, hey, we're coming. You got lost. My dog got killed because you lost paperwork. Yeah, you wrote something.
That's going to be a hard one to argue in front of a jury. If you go to a civil trial, even if I'm sitting on the jury, knowing what kind of anguish I would go through if somebody put my dog down for no reason, I would waste time trying to get cash out of them.
I think the family has something coming. Maybe not $206,000, but they have something coming.
I'd be investing all my money into accelerants.
I understand. I'm quite aware. I know.
Well, I would think if this family doesn't get something for their, pain and emotional, trauma, then no one should get anything for any loss of a family member.
Well, people still put animals, and they should. They put animals in separate categories as people. I don't, but most people do. And you're not going to be able to equate to a jury that your animal was as valuable to you as a human being. They're not going to give you $200,000. Maybe they just hit $200,000 thinking, all right, maybe we'll get 12.
That's probably what you normally do. You normally shoot high, as you well know, because you've been sued.
All right. What's the matter, Trey?
I was trying to think the ways in which I'd kill somebody.
They put my dog down?
Oh yeah. Especially if I knew it was just because some dip didn't go put a note on the cage saying, here's the situation.
Exactly what happened.
That's all you had to do is go tape something because you're too lazy.
Yeah, I got no clue how I'd react. I know whatever the outcome would be, I would have to have the local and state authorities intercede.
You wouldn't. No,
I think I would. I think I would
physically would beat up somebody.
I would. Oh, yeah, it would start there, and then the accelerant part would be an afterthought.
In the real world,
somebody put my animal down. I don't care how absurd it sounds or how far it seems out of the realm. I'm probably going to wig out And first of all, whoever did it is going to get their ass beat.
Okay.
As absurd as that sounds. Then I may just go on a tear.
The state and local authorities intercede. I just
until I'm out of people to whip.
At that point, okay, the dog's gone. I'm beating this person up. It's only going to get me put in jail.
Well, that's why you go to Louisiana where you can hide the body.
Closure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Closure on I-30.
Well, and again, you have to not have kids, and you stick all your emotions into your animals, and that's the only way that
yes.
And my thing is that I understand what you're saying. If you don't have kids, you put all your emotion in the animals. But to me, it just falls down even more simply to, if you're a compassionate person, you see that animal as a life, not something to be just so flippantly discarded.
Again, I think we're in the minority.
We are, and that's the ultimate thing that'll always tick us off. Because to me and to you, I lose my dog, that's the same thing as losing a person. And in a way, it's probably worse because chances are a person that I've known that died probably pissed me off at some point where that animal never did.
Right. And that's the way that we deal with grief.
I understand.
Because you go back and think about whatever that person did to piss you off during their lifetime, and that's where I get my solace. I don't need God for this one.
You justify someone dying.
And you know how flippant JD is, the one dog killer in the room?
I'm not the dog killer. I'm the only one that has kids, and I don't have dogs. You all have dogs. You don't have children. I'm the only one that's on this side. Would I be devastated? Yes. Would I go in and physically?
You weren't devastated when you had Boo put down.
I was. You don't know. You weren't there. I was terribly devastated, and I didn't ever put down. I took her to a shelter. What I think the word shelter tells you that I didn't take her to a crematorium.
Contract.
No. I didn't know there were no kill shelters back then. Even
it was your very own dog Gitmo.
Oh my God!
You don't know what they did to that dog when they had him.
It was certainly not. I had just
sometimes with some of those people, they go back there and they squeeze on the dog's pink thing.
They don't do that
just to see how long they can hold it.
No.
Like Trey used to do the dog penis rodeo.
Got away again.
All right, go ahead then.
The foreclosure problems sweeping the United States apparently have ensnared Ed McMahon, who is best known as Johnny Carson's sidekick on The Tonight Show. The Wall Street Journal reported Tuesday that McMahon was $644,000 in arrears on a $4.8 million loan for a home in Beverly Hills.
I'd like him on my Deadpool, please.
Why?
Because they're saying he hadn't worked because he fell. He broke something. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Shape.
When did he break his neck?
Said it was like 9 months ago.
Yeah. Had some surgery. He did something to his neck. I'm not sure it was breaking it, but he did something bad to his neck, and surgery's been like 9 months. But
I don't think he's worth 12, 13 points, isn't he?
He's 85.
Okay.
You know, I've got a philosophy this year of, just small ones, but
small wins.
That'll get you up there.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Hold on. What's line 4, Alfie?
He used to work for an animal shelter, and he's saying that basically they only have a certain amount of time to decide whether or not they're going to euthanize it.
Well, this animal's hang on. Yeah, Joe.
Hey, basically what I was telling him is, I'm no longer an animal control officer, but I still carry my certifications as a humane officer through the state of Texas. Okay, and it's first off, how responsible were the people that they did not maintain the security to keep their animal in their yard and protect that animal. Okay, and then whenever you do pick them up, the state of Texas requires that any animal you pick up, that you have to hold that animal for 72 hours to see if somebody does come claim it.
Right.
Okay. And if nobody claims it within 72 hours...
Well, here's the problem, is they contacted the shelter. The shelter said they wouldn't put the dog down. They did, and that's where the lawsuit came from.
Okay, yeah. But if you got somebody... Okay, you got... yeah, I'm driving. I'm in traffic, so I'm kind of watching all the idiots.
All right. Let me help you out.
That's fine, because we're watching him, too.
Dip. How long before we need a break?
6.
John, did you bring... put the rest of these stories on hold. Okay. Did you bring some of the Italian food today?
I have, yes. I have pizza. I have a hoagie sandwich. We have spaghetti. We also have some grilled tilapia and cheese. Is it ziti? All right. And Hot Pocket. And, of course, pot pie. Alfie, whatever you'd like.
Hot pie?
If that's what you choose. We have.
Is that your choice?
No. You just said it. I gave you the menu. You ordered pot pie. You do that at Denny's, you're getting a pot pie. Crust? Yeah, crust.
And the pot pie is still frozen. You sure you want that one?
No, I don't want a pot pie.
Okay. Would you like to go in the hall?
Right.
It's a lot easier than arguing back and forth with Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin fights all the way. He just goes, okay, I'll go in the hole.
Okay.
Hit me with what you will.
Dan, why don't
It was so fun last night at Walmart, walking up and down the aisles going, what can I throw at people?
All right, Dan, take this one. What's that?
It's a latex glove.
Oh.
This stuff's going to get messy.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some messy stuff.
You got the wireless mic?
Ready to go.
Okay. Let me hear it.
Check 1, 2.
Okay. Do you want the top off this?
Let's cut cover to vent.
There.
Or that'll work.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the spaghetti with meat sauce, tender spaghetti and a delicious hearty meat sauce with onions, mushrooms, and tomatoes. It's a classic favorite.
Smart ones. So if by chance he gets some...
Flo, you got the mic in your hand, you're slapping it around, and it's on the air.
Sure.
Go out in the hall. The hell is that noise?
Damn, it's a loud studio.
Why is it so loud in here? First, I couldn't figure out what it was, and I looked over, and he's opened the blinds.
With the mic right on it.
All right.
Okay.
Where's Dan? Are you set?
Yep.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
It's the spaghetti time.
Would you like a countdown again?
Yeah, I like those.
Do you like to start from 5 or 3?
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Alfie, are you ready?
Again, the spaghetti with meat sauce.
Okay, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Dan! What are you...
Oh, Jesus, it's like a brick!
Is that necessary to throw it that hard?
Dan, did you not take it out of the container?
No!
Oh, why are you putting on a glove?
You still get splashed.
Tell Alfie to stay out there.
Oh, my God. Stay out here.
All right.
Is it necessary to nail him?
Yes!
Well, you know what? The containers don't weigh that much.
No, and I'm throwing it so the food hits him in the back as opposed to the...
All right, take that.
Aren't you just an angel?
I'm a sweetheart.
Okay.
Is this a CD?
Yes. Now Dan will be throwing the 3-cheese ziti marinara, ziti pasta in a delicious marinara sauce.
It's like a game show. Tell them what they've won.
Topped with mozzarella,
yes,
Monterey Jack, and Parmesan cheeses. Now with more cheese, another classic favorite from Smart Ones. Let him have it, Dan.
And 3, 2, 1.
Oh, damn! That went everywhere. Look at his back. Look at his back. Look, turn this way. That's stuck.
I got sprayed.
Yeah, that went all over on the window and everywhere
I got
else.
some collateral damage with that one.
Tell him to stay out there.
Stay there.
All right, Dan, take this.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Alfie will be enjoying a lean pocket. Whole grain with chicken, broccoli, and cheddar. White meat chicken, broccoli, low-fat cheese with sauce and a crust. 7 grams of fat, 250 calories.
Very nice.
Cooks in 2 minutes.
Microwavable. Doing improved.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
What are you doing?
3,
He's eating it.
2, 1.
Oh! That really... That's dense. That really was...
Right in the
All right, Dan, take this last one and we'll be done.
Kidney, Dan!
Ask Chloe if we need a break after this.
Flo, do we need to break after this?
Yes.
He didn't even get it all. Dan ate a couple of bites of it.
Okay. Dan will now be throwing a delicious hoagie sandwich. What's in that one?
It's got ham, it's got bologna, it's got 2 layers of cheese.
Any mayonnaise or anything?
Yes, it has mayonnaise. It also has tomatoes and lettuce.
Hey, hit him mayonnaise out.
Okay.
Okay.
The hearty roll, a great big hoagie roll. It's almost the size of a small football.
Where'd you get that one?
I also got that at Walmart.
Okay.
Sell them.
How much are those?
Fresh. $2.99.
Obviously a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big sandwich for $3.
Isn't it great?
Alfie, you ready to enjoy your sandwich?
No. Dan, peg him in the head this time.
Okie dokies.
It's so funny to see him
2,
right.
Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
If it's funny to listen to or not. I got more food and I'm going to pelt him with it.
I just think you're overdoing it.
We got pot pie. We got some fish. We got pizza. Do a little more news and then
we'll wrap it up. You're burning it out a little bit. We hit him. And
Shut up, JD.
Jesus. I enjoy it.
Okay. Shut up, JD.
Yeah.
All right. I just think,
pipe down. You want to go out in the hall?
No. I enjoy it. Shut up, JD.
All right, let's finish news here. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. Well, a Florida man has created a car he claims runs on tap water.
Oh,
Yes. Well, either does or doesn't.
Inventor Anthony Brown said, "I'm getting 100 miles to the ounce on water."
Okay, bull.
Brown said he shut his fuel injection system down and created the system that can use any type of water with a small amount of gas. He said the car is getting just fuel vapor. When you separate the water from the oxygen from the hydrogen, it cooks and it cooks down to a brown.
Is this like a hydrogen bomb?
Sounds like it.
That's all I can get out of this is that the way you would have any type of combustion is to go through the same process as the hydrogen.
Brown said he said, "We're not having any waste product off of it. Everything is consumed and burned." Brown said any profit he makes from his invention will go toward helping missionaries around the world. "I've just been asking for a way for the Lord to show me to raise money rapidly, and I started working on this idea."
And who's he trying to sell this to? Because I don't think the oil companies can buy into this.
Well, it doesn't say who he's, to whom he's marketing it. He's just thinking, if this is out there, someone's going to come knocking, and then Jesus will be happy.
The car makers would. They sell a zillion of them if that was real. What was it the Dallas police cars tried a few years back? Was it propane?
Yeah, that was when you decided the way to stop a police car would just shoot them in the trunk.
I never said that. I said that would be if the bad guys know there's a propane tank back there, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they?
Go ahead.
No.
It's been 3 or 4 years since you said it.
Wouldn't they? Shoot it there to stop it?
I don't know.
A propane tank, don't they go pop?
I don't know, but Chloe, put that on the wheel.
What?
Trey, bring in a propane tank tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Dan.
A while back, we heard that Trey, help me out. The RZA from Wu-Tang? RZA. Sorry, just no vowel. A while back, we heard that the RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan was starting a website where you could play chess with people online, and now it's finally open. It's called Woo Chess. Sweet. And it's essentially a social networking site for fans of the Wu and chess to communicate, challenge each other to games, refine your skills, and possibly even play against the RZA or another Wu-Tang Klansman. And it runs you about $48 a year to join.
This is online?
Yes.
Well, that's probably the only safe way to do it.
Why? I don't believe so. No, it's fine.
What's the phrase at the end of the chess game?
Checkmate.
Checkmate, yeah. You want to do that to one of the hip-hop guys?
Well, it's a game. We're just playing a game. Checkmate, see?
You want some cookies with... Say it, Dan.
Would you like some cookies with cream?
No.
How did one of the hip-hop guys set up a chess site?
Why not?
The Wu-Tang Clan is a very eclectic group. They do all sorts of different things. RZA is producer, chess player, method man, actor.
Are they actually playing chess, or are they playing with teeth?
Actually playing chess.
Okay. All right.
Survivor winner.
Checkmate. On your... Keep this for your queen. What, Trey? All right, good, Dan.
Survivor winner Richard Hatch has appealed his tax evasion conviction to the U.S. Supreme Court. Hatch was convicted 2 years ago of failing to pay taxes on the $1 million prize he won on the debut season of the CBS reality series. He was sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. Hatch's lawyer, Michael Menz, has said his client confronted producers about cheating during taping of the show, and a producer promised his taxes would be paid if he kept quiet and went on to win the competition. CBS has said Hatch's claims have no merit.
It doesn't make any difference. Was it CBS?
It was a CBS show, yeah.
Well, that sounds like our MO.
Don't you think it'd be your responsibility to make sure they got paid? Oh, I got your word on it? Okay. I won't even talk to the IRS.
Well, even if they paid his taxes, it's still going to be income. And as absurd as it sounds, if they paid $25,000 in taxes for you, that's income for you, and you got to pay taxes on that.
Yeah, that's true. So he has absolutely he has nothing to stand on. Plus, it's CBS.
Well, is he claiming anything else as far as why he didn't pay his taxes? He's not going the Wesley Snipes route.
No, he
just claims, I thought CBS paid that. They promised they would. I'd like to go.
Yeah, he's saying it's their responsibility. They told me they were going to cover it, so that's their problem, not mine.
All right, hold on a second. Yes, Charles.
Yeah. I'm there.
All right.
Oh, I was talking about the HHO gas car or the water car they were talking about.
Right.
All they do is they pass a 5-volt current through a series of stainless steel plates through water, along with the catalyst, which a lot of people are using as baking soda. It's technology's been around since the 70s. But what he's saying is not entirely true.
Is this kind of like electrostatic with water?
No. It's kind of like electrolysis of water, but the kind of the inferiority of electrolysis, it takes an immense amount of energy to make the hydrogen. What they're saying is they're adding a catalyst to the water and arranging the plates in a different in a series parallel configuration using a pulse width modulator, and they're passing about 5 volts through it. It makes what's called Brown's gas, HHO. There's a lot of names for it, but they're injecting it in their engine, and it's sort of like a hydrogen bomb that basically detonates at an extremely rapid rate, and supposedly you can run your car off of it. The only problem is that a car cannot stand on this, and it pulls like 40 amps on your alternator.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you're what do you do for a living?
I am a programmer. I do PLC, that's automated machinery and equipment. And
okay, all right. Obviously, you're very well educated, very intelligent. Why are you listening to this show? We hit people with Hot Pockets.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to be kidding. This is probably, what are my options? I'm going to listen to, well, there you go. That's not the option.
All right. Thank you.
That's not what he wanted to hear.
It's not a glowing endorsement, but hell, we'll take it.
My radio's stuck in this stupid channel. I can't get it off. Tried everywhere. I want somebody to steal the radio, but they won't.
So it's a mini hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, which it seems like the government would want to have a little regulation of.
Why? It's water. Gasoline's volatile.
It's a bomb.
You can do that with gas.
I guess.
You're running cars on propane.
If it was that
Shady's already pointed out the shortcomings on that.
Yeah.
Somebody shoot you in the trunk.
Well, if you carry around a propane tank, that's what I was just saying. It's just as bad as, I guess, shooting in a gasoline tank.
All right. Good, Dan.
One of the prank-pulling, stunt-performing stars of the MTV series Jackass pleaded guilty to a cocaine possession charge, Timmy. From his March 3rd arrest in Hollywood, the case against Stephen Glover, otherwise known as Steve-O, will be completely dismissed after he finishes a drug rehab program, this according to his attorney.
I've seen different clips from Jackass, the TV show and the movie, and this doesn't come at me out. I'm not blindsided by this one.
Especially this guy. I've seen video of him where he literally peed on the red carpet somewhere in front of everyone.
One of the ones that I saw is they took a porta toilet that was full, stuck one of the guys in it, and flipped it upside down.
Oh, God. Oh, nasty. What is it?
You got to have a couple of pounds of coke in your nose before you're going to let somebody dump the toilet load of crap on you.
That show I never got. I know they're trying to tap into the Three Stooges.
What is it you don't get? We just hit Alfie with a 3-cheese pizza.
That was funny. Nobody got hurt. These people potentially get hurt on this show. It's not really fun to watch. But
hey, Alfie, are you enjoying getting hit with food?
No.
All right.
Well, I know, but he's not getting hurt physically.
don't be casting stones or hot pockets at other people when we're doing the same thing.
Well, they would get into a ring with a bull naked and taunt it. That's stupid.
What happened with that one?
I think one of them got gored.
Where?
I think in the side.
Oh, that's too bad.
I mean, I was surprised it was just coke they busted him on. I would think you would run the gamut.
Slow day when they got him.
Yeah. And I've got the Steve-O on my Deadpool. It's just a matter of time.
How old is he?
33.
Did I tell you guys I want Andy Dick on mine? No. I saw a video over the weekend. He's at this party. Somebody's above him with a video camera, and he is so drunk he cannot stand. Throws a beer bottle right at the feet of the guy who's trying to help him. They have to carry him. And I don't mean how you normally carry a drunk, just arms around his shoulders. They have to pick up his feet and pick up his body and pour him into this car. And that's not the worst things you've heard about him.
That's a smart selection. He'll end up either killing himself or someone will kill him because of the way he is.
And he had something going on with it. Was it John Lovitz?
Yeah.
I didn't hear this.
I don't know if Andy Dick was just being a dick or he was serious. He blamed, who's the guy that got shot?
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman. He blamed his death on John Lovitz.
I didn't hear that
story.
Yep.
How could it be Lovett's fault?
If I remember right, it was either a party that Lovitz was throwing or Hartman was throwing, and Lovitz accused Andy Dick of being the one that caused Phil Hartman's death because Andy Dick had brought drugs to the party, and supposedly that forced Phil Hartman into relapsing.
Wasn't it?
Or no, actually his wife into relapsing, I'm sorry.
Was that the same night that Phil Hartman got shot?
No, not the same night, but it was soon after.
Now she's back on drugs.
Right.
Okay. Are you going to say something, Troy?
No.
All right. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay.
How we doing, Chloe?
Break whatever you want.
All right. Do a couple more, and then we'll break out the menu. Sweet.
Liberals lie, cheat, and steal more than conservatives.
All right. Next story.
Still same one. Here we go. Jessica Simpson's new single, Come On Over, has debuted at number 41 on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. That makes it the highest debuting single.
I've got the Kids Uncut 35 on my flash if you want to hear it.
Go ahead, Dan.
That makes it the highest debuting single by a solo artist in the history of the magazine's country singles chart. She told the Tennessean, I got chills and butterflies in my stomach. It felt like the first time I heard myself on the radio when I was 19. Country is where my heart is. I'm so honored to be part of the country community.
You know where the cash is. You had a steel guitar to a pop song, and now it's country.
So you think
I just think
it's like what they do with a lot of Shania stuff?
Exactly, Shania.
They do a country and an adult contemporary mix.
Both.
Come on over. Leave your coat behind the door.
A little tweaking. This is a Kiss FM song.
I bet it ends up being one.
You just pull the steel out of it.
Why would this debut at number one?
I have no clue. She has no reputation in that genre. It's not that great of a song. Anybody in the world could be singing this.
All right, I'm bored with this. Dan, you ready to go in the hall?
Hell yeah.
Alfie, if you would.
All right.
Thank you. All right, Chloe, you got the wireless mic?
Is this going to stop at some point?
When we run out of food. All right, Dan.
Sure, it gets more delivered.
Take this one first. I'll cut the wrapper open. You can do both those at once if you'd like.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Is this garlic?
I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, okay.
You there, Chloe? Okay. Gordon's 5-star tilapia promises you an exceptional quality tilapia meal every time. Handpicked and trimmed for the Luna's premium cut, carefully selected for the whitest, moistest, and flakiest fillets, specially chosen for mild flavor, 100% inspected for the safest, highest quality. It's Gordon's 5-star tilapia.
In 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Sorry, that still might have been frozen a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Dan, come get this one. Okay.
Alfie, are you all right, really?
Alfie, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
This is Totino's Crispy Crust Party Pizza. Triple meat, sausage, Canadian-style bacon, and pizza topping with pepperoni seasoning. Sausage made with pork and chicken. Pizza topping with pepperoni seasoning made with pork, chicken, and beef. It's party time every time with Totino's.
In 3, 2, 1.
Sorry for laughing.
Oh, wow. What the hell was that? It's Totino.
Don't you listen? Doesn't it feel like party?
That one almost, it looked like it almost had a suction cup on it, just stuck to his back for a half a second before coming off.
All right, here's the last one.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is my favorite.
Why is everybody so excited about that?
All right, here we go. This is Stouffer's white meat turkey bun pie. A golden crust surrounding pieces of all white meat turkey, peas, carrots, and celery in a gravy made with real cream. It's a product of Canada. It's home-style Stouffer's.
In 3, 2, 1.
Look at the window. It exploded.
How did it land on my face? I'm facing the other direction.
Oh, my Jesus. Oh, that won't be easy to clean up.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Enter at your own risk. The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Let me double check.
Now you're just getting gross.
Yeah, it is.
What is it? I can smell it. Whatever it is, don't open it again.
Well, I'm standing under it or over it. It's molded over Popeye's rice.
When did they add that?
I don't know. Maybe it's from the last time they ran it for a limited time only.
Why would you order that?
Why would you save it? Someone ate half of it and then left it in the fridge.
Oh, that's not new.
It's molded over. Look at that.
You just made it sound like it was something that Popeye sells now.
I don't know.
Put the lid back on it.
It's not going to come out and get you.
The all new molded over Popeye's rice. Limited time only.
We're out of stuff, aren't we?
We got the rice.
Nah, let's just wait till tomorrow. I really hate to beat it to bits.
No, you don't.
Turn it over a new leaf.
All right. It's 7 o'clock. You guys ready to go?
Sure, I guess.
Ready, Dan?
Yeah.
All right. Here, we'll just use this music since it's still loaded.
Why does that make this bit so much funnier when you play that music and you read what a delightful, lovely gift we're having, and all the little ingredients are now go flying down the hall at about 45 miles an hour.
It's the way the Price is Right should have always been.
Bid $3.99, Bob.
Why that's so much funnier?
Try again.
I don't want to.
Too high.
Oh.
Yeah, let me get the music back again.
Go.
Go ahead.
All right. For more information on The Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any questions you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To email the show and during the show only, send that to studio@russmartin.com. Other show websites, johndavidryan.com, danomalley.com, djclo.net, treytrenholm.com, and for Chuck the Band Manager, chuckwheat.com. The official caterer of the show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, sugarbabiesbbq.com. Limo service for the show is provided by Limo George. His website, limogeorge.com. Russ gets his guitars and band equipment from the Guitar Center. Their website, guitarcenter.com.
Hang on a second. Trey, take this rice in there and heat down. What? Oh. Go ahead, Dan.
MajesticLiquors.com, official liquor store of the show. And live1053.com for our website.
What the hell? Sure. Get it away from me! Get it away! There you go. Oh, Jesus, man!
I didn't hear him throw it. I heard pop. Did you throw it?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you. Hit him with it again.
Why have to pick it up?
What sound were you expecting out of rice?
I didn't hear anything.
I heard a little pop.
That's a letdown.
I told my Subway sandwich.
Yeah, hit him with this. Hurry up, you only got 30 seconds.
That's disgusting.
Well, this won't be because it's fresh.
Moldy rice. Moldy rice.